shade. I see the sparks you throw my way. I know your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty, How about I get another drink, baby, Okay, I get it. You got fire burning, right there in your eyes. So when you got this whole thing, I like the way you look at me. How about we just go with the flow? Now you know I feel it too. But I don't think this could be something that becomes a thing. Maybe just for tonight, then I'll be over you. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning, and you don't even try. Well, would you look at that? My glass is empty, How about I get another drink, baby, Okay, I get it. You got fire burning, right there in your eyes. Oh yeah. How about I get another drink, baby, Okay, I get it. You got fire burning, right there in your eyes. I got enough of every melody. They all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. We can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Cause you make me love my imperfections. get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. We go party till we black out. Black out. So get the fuck up.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Alright, so we are getting into the start of our Season 5 Mettlestate Pro Series. So I think, yeah, just based on what we've seen in the Open Series just on Monday, I think today is going to be a very, very interesting game, you know, with, well, just the caliber of, the caliber of gameplay already, you know, going up insanely high just in Open Series, you know. So hopefully we can see the same thing, of course, now coming over into the Pro Series. And yeah, I'm expecting some crazy gameplays.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, pretty much couldn't have said it better myself. We've seen some great stuff, some improvements all around, and yeah, I'm expecting that to continue. Obviously, being the Pro Series, we're gonna definitely be seeing some spicy stuff going down for sure. So I'm looking forward to it, and yeah, I'm ready to jump in.
Yeah. Well, so without any further ado, let's jump straight up into that. So here we go. All right, so here are the teams that we've got in the lobby, of course, for today. So we've got the Dragons over in slot 2. We've got Ekasi in slot 3. We've got the players there from Exile Africa, of course, in slot 4. We've got Exist over in slot 5. Gun in slot 6. We've got a Hub over in slot 7. Of course, the players from MEA Africa in slot 9. Then we've got Nibble Odyssey in slot 10. We've got the Outsiders over in slot 11. In 12, we've got the players there from ResHaunted. In 13, we've got the team there from Shellshock. In 15, we've got the players from Spaza Gaming. Then, of course, we've got Temper over in slot 16. And then, last but not least, we've got the players, of course, from Vibrant Gaming over in slot 17. So, interesting lineup with the teams there. And, of course, the flight path. Also, not a bad start.
Yeah, it's a little bit better than the flight paths that we have been having recently. A little bit fresh, at least. It's going all the way from Stalba down to the southwestern portion of the map, so that's great. It allows a little bit more access to the middle of the map. Unfortunately, it doesn't go over that military base that I always like to see, but we've seen quite a lot of that, so you know, I'm fine. That's all right. But yeah, like you said, we've got a lot of big names in the lobby today. A lot of familiar ones at that. I think pretty much every single team here is quite well known. We've seen them in action before, and I'm definitely expecting them to bring some top tier gameplay here starting out this season.
Yeah, so we're just hoping now to find ourselves in some nice early game action there, as we've got teams busy making their way down. We've got Ekasi, of course, heading up into their spot there in Severny. And then quite a few teams dropping down over here in ResHaunted now, as well as quite a few of them moving in the direction there of South George. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting start to this match. Just looking at the amount of teams and where they're all dropping down, it's going to be absolutely crazy. So I think let's jump up over here in towards ResHaunted, where we've got the Outsiders and Gun, of course, busy making their way around.
Yeah, I'm seeing the very interesting pattern here. Like you said, we've got some grouping around George, and we've got some grouping around ResHaunted. Everywhere else seems pretty much empty, aside from a couple of other places where the teams decided to drop. So obviously these teams are very much localized around these points, and obviously they have a sort of preference to be in those spots, and that means that all the teams that have the preference to be there are going to be there, and that means some potential early fights, which is great.
Yeah. So, well, we'll just keep an eye on the teams here. We've got the Outsiders, of course, fairly close there to the team from, well, Gun. You can see Jess already taking a few hits in the process. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see them move up. We're also keeping a watchful eye on the teams over here in the south, or, well, South George. It seems like we've got 4 teams right on top of each other. This, of course, being the players there from Nibble Odyssey, the Dragons, MEA, and then we also have another one. I think they're just a little bit further on over at the Containers.
Yeah, and it looks like the Dragons are actually right in the center between Odyssey and one of the other teams there. I think it is MEA. So this could potentially be interesting if they don't manage to extract themselves from the situation or win some fights. Then it could get pretty messy. So we'll see if they can do that, unless one of the other teams rotates out before that happens. We'll see.
Yeah, now we're just keeping an eye on all the teams, hoping that, you know, they start the engagements. We've got a few shots already. None of them seem to have been landing, you know, anywhere special just yet. But yeah, so we've got the players there from ResHaunted, of course, over in North George. We've got Tempo over at the George Crates. And of course, Exist over and around the area there of Water City and the Ruins. We've got the Outsiders and Gun up in Rozok. We've got Vibrant moving about school. We've got the players, of course, there from the Exiles over in Pochinki. Shellshock over in Malta. And then the team there from Spaza Gaming, as you can see, spread out in the surrounding area there around the mansion and almost in the Asnaya. And then, of course, you know, Ekasi, they've got their very own red zone up there. And Hub also down in Primorsk.
Yeah, they've gone very, very far down. I think it's kind of a smart decision, though, because right now, just compared to the rest of the teams, they're all so close together that Hub are actually pretty much free to do whatever they like for quite some time here, because not only are they in the zone, but they're very, very far away from pretty much everyone else. They're sitting quite happily here. The opposite end of the spectrum is the Dragons, who are sitting here right pinched between two teams, as well as a couple of other teams that are sitting quite close to one another, which is Gun and the Outsiders here in Rozok.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we already got those shots now flying back and forth between the Outsiders and Gun, and hopefully we will see some of them doing a bit of damage there. The Bob from the Outsiders, because I can't pronounce his name, so his name's Bob, getting hit. And of course, Pyro now getting knocked out. So Pyro was all on his lonesome near the Rozok Hill. And Jesse, of course, taking full advantage of that, you know, having the player all, you know, singled out there, taking those hits, you know, and getting that first knock. So, yeah, that was our first knock of the game.
Yeah, yeah. Good stuff. Certainly bodes well for the future. Hopefully we see a little bit more spicy stuff. We're going to be hearing some shots ringing out from the Dragons there, taking some shots over on MEA. So there is going to be a player there on MEA's team that is knocked over already there. So we'll see if that we'll see if the fighting continues. Shots are ringing off.
Ooh. So we got Vile opening fire. We got Yakes very low on health, and then of course Mr. Panda there getting knocked out. Baker now moving up for a little bit of reinforcement there. So let's just keep an eye on these two fights. We got the one over in Rozok, and then of course we got the one over there in South George. Oh, Dan gets knocked out there by Vile. We just heard him tapping off a few shots just before we jumped up over here towards the Outsiders, who are now moving in on Gun. Oh, there we go.
Ooh. Alright, some nice shots there heading out. Back and forth trades. A lot of players falling on both sides. But who comes out on top?
The Outsiders.
Ooh.
Well done. Well done.
That's Gun sent back to lobby, and that's the first team that we see sent back to the lobby here. So now 13 teams left, 50 players alive, and well, Gun are not going to be too happy with that one to start out the season.
Yeah, no, definitely. That is a bit of a rough start. And like we've mentioned several times before, you know, it's never nice being the first team to be sent back to the lobby.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, you know. It's a little bit demotivating, but at least there's 3 more rounds left, you know, to redeem yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll see some more exciting stuff, you know, from Gunside, because we've seen a lot of that in the past. You know, we know that they're not a team that, you know, just gives up. You know, they're gonna keep on trying, and maybe they're just gonna go now and just, you know, rethink or replan the strategy that they were coming into this match with. You know, maybe adapt that a little bit for, you know, the coming match that we will have over in the Miramar.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's It's always an interesting question when talking about how early a team goes out, because we know we've seen Gun do a lot better than that in previous matches, so it's not like they don't have the potential to do a lot better. But I think maybe just an unfortunate situation that a lot of teams sort of dropped in the same place, centered around George and ResHaunted, maybe making a little bit uncomfortable, not getting that gear that you would want, and just maybe making the situation a little bit less than advantageous for you. So maybe they'll replan where they like to drop, or potentially see where the players are dropping this time around, and potentially maybe make a decision to go somewhere less popular, perhaps.
Yeah, because one thing that we've also seen quite a bit is that the populous places, especially in these tournaments, they are not as popular in the tournaments, due to the fact that people know. They try to adopt a different strategy when it comes to the gameplay. And I think it might just be, the luck of the draw, where the teams all decided to, like, what, normally no one goes there, so let's go give it a bash. And quite a few teams decided exactly on, the same thing. And, well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we saw how that worked out. In any case, right now, Odyssey have rotated down south towards the Primorsk area where Hub is situated, but they have veered off their course, moving their way over to the pier. And that's going to mean that the Dragons are now nice and happy, sitting there mostly alone in towards that hospital area. The rest of the teams mostly spread out, except for MEA, who is very close to Resurrection. Otherwise, most of the teams have made their way into some pretty free ground across the map.
Well, we've got a few shots, of course, now flying up over here towards MEA, as the players there from ResHaunted are slowly but surely moving in. So let's see, maybe we could see a few hits coming in over towards the MEA side, or even a few hits going over towards the Res side. MEA is already taking a bit of damage there. Vile just getting another hit to the face. So, yeah, hopefully this evolves into a nice fight, and we can see our first team, our second team getting taken down. Sorry, I forgot Gun was sent back already.
Yeah. Well, here we are. We've got still 50 players there on the board, waiting for some shots to ring out. Interesting to note that the zone is actually still over the military base, so we could still see a zone popping over there. None of the teams have moved over in that direction just yet. So we might just see another bridge match. Maybe, potentially. It's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, we've got a standoff, of course, happening over here now between Temper and Exist. Both teams now have their scopes trained on each other, now just waiting to see who's going to be the first one to start the engagement. We've got Flacco, Nas, Shady, and Mayo on the side here for Temper. And then, of course, Tia, Flame, Zodiac, and Clutch for the Exist team. It definitely looks like they're focusing down over towards Zodiac and Clutch. And then, of course, we got Tia managing to get a little bit of a flank, a little bit of a rotation happening. So it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Tia can make it work, get those hits across.
Yeah, we'll see if the shots land or not. Interesting to note that zone has gotten smaller, and well, there is still a bridge in there. There is still a bridge in there. That could be potentially the new spot here. We could be seeing a first match of the season bridge camping match.
Yeah. Well, we've also not seen anyone land in the Sosnovka military island.
Yeah, nobody landed there, which means it's completely free right now. Vibrant looks like they might want to go towards that direction. It would be a pretty good decision. The Exile's actually hot on their tail as well. We'll see if that devolves into a fight anytime soon, as the rest of the teams also start making their way southward towards the new zone there. A lot of teams up north going to have to make their way quite quickly down towards that new zone. But Hub, interestingly enough, actually still safe inside that zone to the eastern side of Primorsk.
Well, we got Vibrant now making a quick U-turn on the bridge. Ooh, returning all the way in and now starting, well, getting shot at rather by the players here from the Exiles. So, that was an interesting turn. I thought they were going to try and cross the bridge, and seems like they decided to rather stay on this side of the bridge, come back, and try and get those shots in.
Yeah, right now the Dragons and Ekasi are quite close to one another, and the Exiles and Vibrant are also going at it still here towards the bridge. So the bridge fighting has begun, and Odyssey actually deciding to just hop off the pier and make their way over through the water towards that military island, which is a safe decision. I think that they know that bridge is a bit of a hot spot. You don't really want to be there. It can become a bit of a death zone if you're not careful. And well, Exiles and Vibrant are feeling that one right now as they take a couple of shots towards one another in hopes of getting those knocks.
Ooh, wow. Psycho Wolf getting run over. That's a new one. Well, we asked for action, we're getting action.
Yeah.
Not the exact action we were hoping for, but, you know, action is action. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Well, right now you can see on the western side of the map, there's a lot of teams very, very close to one another. There's about 3 of them just sitting around there. Meanwhile, Resurrection getting hit by Exist just towards Ferry Pier. That's going to be a couple of shots taken. The rest of the Resurrection squad a little bit further away. They're going to be able to save their team, at least for the moment. Exiles look like they're taking another route. Having seen that that bridge is very much blocked off by Vibrant, they're going to have to make their way around and try and find another route. They might just go over to the edge there and take a bit of a dive going towards the island, if they, of course, want to be there. Right now, that zone has not yet closed too much, so we still have to wait for that. And actually, Ekasi, they're going to be making their way all the way around towards the military base from the other side of Primorsk. So now we wait once again for the fight to begin. Does another team attempt to cross the bridge and potentially fall into Vibrant's trap? We will have to wait and see.
Yep, no, definitely we will have to wait and see. And Ekasi seems like they're making a very safe rotation all the way up into towards the Sosnovka military island. So it's going to be very interesting where, you know, when the zone makes its shift once again, you know, to see, you know, where it's going to move to. And yeah, I'm curious to see whether or not we're going to have another bridge zone once again. You know, was it just going to be our standard, you know, our standard match here? Ooh, we got Mr. Toxic here from Hub. AFK. That's great fun. There we go. Good way to start off a tournament.
Yeah.
Nothing better than an AFK. Oh, there we go. The Dragons now moving up on Hub here. We got the Mad Gas and Queen. Oh, down
the
goes
shots coming
Dan.
out.
Ooh.
That's Mad Gas. Queen goes up and gets knocked out as well. That's going to leave Toxic last alive for Hub, but nowhere to be found all the way across to the other side. So that is going to be an issue for Hub. I don't think they're going to be able to recover from that one, as the rest of the squad does get taken down. And yeah, that's Dragons coming out on top of that one. Blue Zone moving in, so a couple of bits of damage going to be going down. I think Toxic probably going to feel that one anytime soon. And
So-
we're about to see where that new zone is going to drop. Ooh, and it is the bridge. It is the bridge. Oh, This is going to be fun.
It's weird here watching the outsiders, you know, still out in the blue, 1.5 kilometers from zone. Very late rotation from them there. It's very strange, you know. It's not something that we usually see them doing. They're usually on it, you know, in the zone. They're just about now to come into the safe zone. Here we go. Very, very strange play there by them. But, I mean, at least they made it up. They made it in. And now, well, let's see. Will Vibrant be able to bank on the position that they're moving there? And it seems like Exiles are now trying to rotate around over towards the eastern bridge.
That is quite a decision there.
But it's
they're sitting there, they're like, wow, we can't. Yeah, but like that means not only are they too scared to swim, but they know that bridge is too much of a hot spot to go around. So they're like, you know what, screw it. We're just gonna hop in here. We're just gonna ride all the way around to the other side and take that chance and come around from behind. Now this could work out for them. They could catch some players out, or they could be victims of Shellshock here, because as they come around, they're gonna be quite low. Yeah. Meanwhile, outside is gonna get run over and blown up.
Wow. Well, well done. Well played there to the Dragons.
Yeah, all right, so there's a lot of teams now having to make their way towards the bridge. You can see, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams towards the bridge. Yeah, of course, one of them being Vibrant, just sitting there on the bridge, and they are either about to be absolutely fed a whole lot of kills, or some chaos is about to happen as Temp, they run into an entirely other team. There it is, MEA getting taken down there by TMP.
Ooh, that was an easy finish. That was...
Yeah, now it's just Panda.
Yeah, Panda now the Lone Ranger. Well, the Exiles managed to get that rotation done. I mean, better late than never, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it came in, so I guess props to them. Now, you can see here there's still quite a number of players that need to make their way towards the bridge, or at least try and take a swim for it. We'll see if Exist decide to do the latter. But of course, we still have the remainder team of MEA, that's being Panda, and then of course TMP, and then Res Dizzy just sitting up there all by his lonesome. Of course, Odyssey, Ekasi, Shellshock, and Exiles just making their way in there as well, all safe inside the zone. Of course, as well as Spaza Gaming. So now we wait and see if anyone will fall victim to that bridge, or if they will find their way around it. So Exist have decided to hop in the drink and take a swim.
Oh, we've got Temper now closing up on the Vibrant team here. Let's see, will they get those shots? We got Sino and Nova right here, keeping a watchful eye, making sure to, you know, well, hoping to hopefully see any of the players, of course, now moving in, but that was a bit of a fail on their side. The shots already moving up, flying straight in from Temper side. We got Nos, Flacco, and Mayo now trying to move up. We got Luffy, of course, they're from Vibrant, way over on the far eastern edge.
Yeah, Dragons did make their way in via boats. Exist are still swimming, and Odyssey, and Spaza Gaming, Shellshock, and Ekasi are sitting nicely inside that zone. Exile's not far behind, and Vibrant, they need to make a decision whether to still sit on that bridge or move back. Now, I think they could potentially sit on that bridge a little bit more. The blue zone has yet to make its way in, so that could still be a powerful position, but instead they are deciding to move in towards the zone, which is going to allow TMP the ability to move in. After all that time of sitting there, they finally have a little bit of a chance here to make their way in towards that zone.
Oh, well, you can see the players here from Shellshock and Ekasi, of course, very close together as well, right on the edge of zone there for Ekasi's side. And then we got the Exiles now moving up just over towards the north, just pulling up in towards the zone there. So we've got 12 teams, 40 players still remaining. And we have a zone that is, well, less than a kilometer across. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very tight space to have quite a number of players. 40 players to squeeze into that zone, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think we're about to see quite a number of fights happen towards the west there. You can see a lot of players still making their way in. We have Vibrant, we have Dragons, we have Exist, we have TMP moving in, we have Odyssey and Spaza Gaming all located here towards the western side of the zone, and all of them want to get in there. All of them want a space. And, well, not all of them can have it. So, yeah, we need to see some fighting. That's definitely going to happen in about a minute or so.
There we go.
Yeah, also Spaza Gaming already taking some hits.
So this is where it's going to get really, really tough to spectate because... oh, Temper now rushing up. Deity getting a quick res there in on Coco, trying to put those shots in to Shady. Shady, of course, knocking out both of them. Now it is up to Chris and Berserk. Let's see, will they be able to fend off the team here from Temper as they push in? Exist getting hit as well. Down goes Chris. Berserk now the last one left. Temper out for blood. Oh, up comes Mayo and down they go. What a play.
Well played from Temp.
Wow, that was a very quick rush. We got Rez, of course, now pushing up on Exist. Exist out in the open there. But it's only Dizzy. Dizzy is basically the solo player, unless of course he can get the Rez in on Paul G. Now Exist getting caught out in the blue zone. Now let's see, will they be able to make it up safely into wood zone? They don't have that far to go, only 150 meters. But you know, a lot can happen in just that little span of road. But the Dragons also now getting hit just up on the hill. Wow.
Yeah, and the blue zone has moved in as well, so a lot of teams have to be aware of that. As the firefights happen, the Dragons will be taking a couple of casualties there. The shots will be ringing back and forth as Dragons engage towards Exist and Rez, who are both in their line of sight, and that is going to be Exist taking the L, going back to the lobby there. As Dragons win that one out and make their way just outside of that blue zone. The rest of the team's moving up as well. But we still have 30 players left alive, and this zone is tiny.
Yeah, no jokes about the about it being tiny. It is. I do not want to be in the zone. Wow, that is really, really a tough one. We've got Ekasi now trying to rotate up. We got the players here from Shellshock putting in a few hits. The Dragons getting those hits in on Rez as well. So Ekasi now repositioning themselves, moving up right on towards the players here from Shellshock. Preset now, him and Tulo, the last two hopefuls. Vibrant moving in as well, as you can see just off in the distance there. Let's see, will Tolu be able to fend them off? Oh! Shots going on all over the place. Sully now moving up. He's the last one left for Ekasi. Gets the hit in on Shellshock. What a play!
Well played indeed. Shellshock going to be sent back, but the fights are still continuing there. Vibrant and Odyssey taking an engagement there towards the southwest side of the zone. Odyssey going to get taken a lot of damage, and actually that's going to be Odyssey coming out on top as Vibrant gets sent back to the lobby as well.
And Odyssey not looking too great on the health size, and yeah, down they go. Oh, the Exiles also taking a bit of a hit there, but Nos getting knocked and thirsted. 5 teams left. Wow. So Jesse, the solo player there for the Outsiders, now just trying to move up right on the edge of zone. The Dragons trying to move in. There we go. The Exiles take out the Outsiders. We got Blade. Just trying to get some cover here behind the vehicle. And the rest of the Dragons, of course, now moving up in towards zone. Shots flying all over the place. Temper really, really trying to get in those kills.
Yeah, they're right in the center of the zone, so they have pole position as the rest of the teams are sitting towards the outskirts there. Lots of shots going through, and actually Dragons going to be taking a little bit of self-damage there as Temper continue to make the shots ring forth. Exiles still towards the outskirts along with Ekasi. but that's going to be the Dark Dragons, or sorry, the Drogon Dragons, taken out of the game. So that's them back to the lobby as well. TMP, they win that one out. So there are 3 teams. So that was a lot of shooting, I must say. We went from like 50 players down to 9 as more shots ring out from the Exiles, this time towards Ekasi.
And Sully now, of course, being the last hope for left here. Let's see, will Sully be able to make it up into a zone successfully? Well, him and Grim, sorry. I didn't see Grim. Here we go. So they're now trying to find a good position. Temper taking a pretty good spot in zone, though, positioning themselves right on the edge of the zone there. And, of course, both the other teams who are still remaining have to rotate up in towards zone. And the only way in is past Temper.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a three-way, there's a triangle basically sitting here, but only one of the teams is inside the zone, which means that something has to happen. Ekasi, they make the decision to hop into the vehicles and make their way into the zone to potentially throw a curveball, and actually at the same time Exiles are moving in as well, so this attack is coordinated, everyone just moving in at the same time, and the shots ringing forth through all 3 teams colliding at once, shooting everywhere. Who is going to be the first to fall, as everyone has made it inside the zone. It's going to be Ekasi taking the first hit from that nade. TMP is starting that one out. Exile's not far behind as the shots ring back and forth. Players are falling. MEA going to get taken out. TMP only have 2 players left. Exiles are 5 players strong. 4 players make that 3. It's a 2v2v3 as the hits still continue to come through.
What a hit. What a hit.
Yeah, that's going to be Exiles sent back to the lobby. Knocked over, taken out, and now it's Ekasi and TMP. TMP, they've done such good work this game. They have so many frags to their name. The score is super high, and they're looking to continue that one out, but Ekasi shutting them down.
Woo. Wow. What a way to finish a match. My goodness. Wow, so Flacco was trying to push up, trying to get that res going, and just as he jumps out, he gets taken down. What a crazy, crazy way to start the Pro Series. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, if you look at the frags just in these top 5 teams, you know, you can already see why. We got Ekasi then, of course, placing right there with the chicken dinner. Well done. We got Temper coming in 2nd place. Ekasi got 5 kills. We got Temper, of course, finishing their play. They're on 14 kills. Did I say Temper, right? Yes. Just making sure. I don't want to get it confused. Well, then we got the Exiles in 3rd place, also with 5 kills. So 5 kills for 2 of the top 3 teams there. In 4th place, we got the Dragons. They coming in there with 7 kills. Well played. We got the Outsiders, of course, finishing off with 4 kills in 5th. Then we got Odyssey taking 6th place. We got Vibrant taking 7th. We got Shellshock in 8th place. We got the ResHaunted team, of course, in 9th place. Then MEA Africa finishing off in 10th place. We got Exist in 11th. Spaza Gaming claiming 12th place. We got a Hub going out in 13th. And then of Gun being our first team getting sent back into the lobby there. So what an interesting match. What a turn of events that was. Wow.
Yeah, TMP did a lot of good work there. They got themselves quite a number of frags, and it was only right at the end there when, of course, they eventually lost their 1st place position to Ekasi, who were able to win the gunfight. But, I mean, that was pretty much a similar thing that we've seen, except it seemed a lot more structured this time around, or at least in comparison to what we saw recently, in that a lot of the teams, there was early engagement, but the survivability was a lot higher, and a lot of the teams managed to survive for a lot longer, making smart decisions, able to survive very, very long, and that allowed us to have a scenario where there were like 50 players in a tiny zone. Yeah. All of the fights happened, all of them resolved, and then we were left with an interesting little triangle there, and those 2 teams sitting outside the zone just decided to bum rush it at the same time, and yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, no, well, that was absolutely an amazing play. Great way to get the match, well, to get the Pro Series started. I mean, yeah. So I think without any much more further ado, let's get up into the highlights. And then, of course, we'll bring you guys back once we get our second match underway. There we go.
Yep.
Doop, all the buttons, and we just heard him tapping off a few shots just before we jumped up over here towards the outsiders, who are now moving in on gun. Oh, there we go.
Ooh. Alright, some nice shots there heading out. Back and forth trades. A lot of players falling on both sides. But who comes out on top?
The outsiders.
Ooh.
Well done. Well done. That's great fun. There we go. Good way to start off a tournament.
Yeah.
Nothing better than an AFK. Oh, there we go. The Dragons now moving up on hub here. We got the Mad Gas and Queen. Oh, down
the
goes
shots coming
Dan.
out.
Oh,
That's Mad Gas. Queen goes up and gets knocked out as well. That's going to leave Toxic.
oh, Temper now rushing up. Deity getting a quick res there in on Coco, trying to put those shots in to Shady. Shady, of course, knocking out both of them. Now it is up to Chris and Berserk. Let's see, will they be able to fend off the team here from Temper as they push in? Exist getting hit as well. Down goes Chris. Berserk now the last one left. Temper out for blood. Oh, up comes Mayo, and down they go. Just that little span of road. But the Dragons also now getting hit just up on the hill. Wow.
Yeah, and the blue zone has moved in as well, so a lot of teams have to be aware of that. As the firefights happen, the Dragons will be taking a couple of casualties there. The shots will be ringing back and forth as Dragons engage towards Exist and Rez, who are both in their line of sight, and that is going to be Exist taking the L, going back to the lobby there.
Positioning themselves, moving up right on towards the players here from Shellshock. Preset now, him and Tulo, the last two hopefuls. Vibrant moving in as well, as you can see just off in the distance there. Let's see, will Tolu be able to fend them off? Oh! Shots going on all over the place. Sully now moving up. He's the last one left for Ekasi. Gets the hit in on Shellshock. What a play! Shots going on all over the place. Sully now moving up. He's the last one left for Ekasi. Gets the hit in on Shellshock. What a play!
Well played indeed. Shellshock going to be sent back, but the fights are still continuing there. Vibrant and Odyssey taking an engagement there towards the southwest side of the zone. Odyssey going to get taken a lot of damage, and actually that's going Shellshock going to be sent back, but the fights are still continuing there. Vibrant and Odyssey taking an engagement there towards the southwest side of the zone. Odyssey going to get taken a lot of damage, and actually that's going to be Odyssey coming out on top as Vibrant gets sent back to the lobby as well.
And Odyssey not looking too great on the health size, and yeah, down they go. And the rest of the Dragons, of course, now moving up in towards zone. Shots flying all over the place. Temper really trying to get in those kills.
Yeah, they're right in the center of the zone, so they have pole position as the rest of the teams are sitting towards the outskirts there. Lots of shots going through, and actually Dragons going to be taking a little bit of self-damage there as Temper continue to make the shots ring forth. Exile still towards the outskirts along with Ekasi, but that's going to be the Dark Dragons. Or first hit from that nade. TMP is starting that one out. Exile's not far behind as the shots ring back and forth. Players are falling. Mayo going to get taken out. TMP only have 2 players left. Exiles are 5 players strong. 4 players make that 3. It's a 2v2v3 as the hits still continue to come through.
What a hit. What a hit.
Yeah, that's going to be Exiles send 3. It's a 2v2v3 as the hits still continue to come through.
What a hit. What a hit.
Yeah, that's going to be Exiles sent back to the lobby. Knocked over, taken out, and now it's Ekasi and TMP. TMP, they've done such good work this game. They have so many frags to their name. The score is super high, and they're looking to continue that one out. But Ekasi shutting them down.
Feel uninvited. Left home in West LA, I'm not excited. So uninspired. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah, she needs to know I love her. I wonder if we'll make it through this summer. Just wanna touch like back when we were younger. Yeah. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me.
I'm so divided, starstruck, but hate has got some indecisive. I'm over fighting, I just can't wake up cold and sleep alone. This boy's some trouble. When he's around, my problems seem like double. His stupid eyes put me on ice, so no, no. Don't slow me down, don't wanna do this solo.
Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I can't help myself, you're a drug to me. I just can't get enough. I know this is love, so come close to me while we're still young. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me, touch me.
I get lost inside my thoughts, and when I start to think, oh, the Tahoe close, it starts to end up on the brink. I tried so hard, but all these scars, they cut so deep, I bleed. I fell so fast from heaven, it's like someone clipped my wings. Now I'm falling, and I can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe, and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye. I forgive the pain you gave to me so long ago. Sleepless nights I laid awake just begging to let go. I almost got to suicidal thoughts, but you stepped in. An angel sent from heaven showed me how to live can't see the ground. Can we stop this gravity? It keeps bringing me down. I can't breathe and I don't wanna die. Can we stop this gravity? 'Cause I don't wanna say goodbye.
How heavy is that? Light work with the bass on the track, on my face to the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink, but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple man stand around like they hate in the gaff. Please stop talking that trash, cause the vibes in the front all the way to the back. Is that light work with the bass on the track, on my face to the back like I'm taking a slap. I need a drink, but it's straight from the tap. And I'm hating the slack, couple man stand around like they hate in the gaff. Please stop talking that trash, cause the vibes in the front all the way to the back.
I just want a bag, like an old lady. I'm backwoods smoking, I don't own papers, pass that 808. That shit a dome shaker. Oh, bitch, you know I'm grinding like a pro skater. Baby mama bugging, I'm so quick to hit ignore. Buku bitches in my bed, I got scales all on my floor. I got money on the line, plus I'm clocking that galore. I got bitches kissing bitches, oh them bitches go explore. I'm feeling way up, Fuck it, I stay up. Put your bitch on my Snapchat. When I fuck up, I make her. She want a chance with me, cause she know I'm.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Alright, so we are getting into our second match for the Pro Series Season 5, Week 1. Wow, what a matchup it has been. The first match has been absolutely insane. I mean, wow, I'm so looking forward to the second match. Really keen to see what's going to happen. You know, how these teams are going to perform, where they're going to place, and, you know, who's going to get the chicken dinner for the second round.
Yeah, I'm quite keen to get into it, and like you said, it's been very interesting so far. We had a great first match. It was very interesting to watch indeed, and now we're getting into that good old Miramar, and well, it's going to be interesting to see what goes down on this map.
Yeah, no, definitely. And the teams that we have in, once again, as you can see there, we've got the Dragons over in slot 2. We've got Ekasi over in 3. We've got the Exiles in 4. Then, of course, we've got the players there from Exist over in slot 5. We've got Gun in slot 6. We've got the players from Hub in 7. Of course, we have ISO Esports in slot 8. We've got MEA over in slot 9. Odyssey over in 10. The Outsiders in 11. We've got ResHaunted in 12, Shellshock in slot 13, the players from Spaza Gaming in 15, and of course Temper in 16, and Vibrant over in slot 17. And a nice flight path, can I say so myself?
Yeah, it's going straight down from north to south, which is going to give all the players access to the entirety of the map, so no holds barred there. Teams can drop wherever they feel like it, but the real question then becomes, where does the zone drop? Because, of course, that is quite a big deciding factor, but nobody has to worry about that just yet. Of course, that zone only comes in much later. So now we just get to have a look and see where all the teams decide to drop, and let's see if we see a similar amount of clumping as we did in the first match, because we saw quite a bit of it in that first match. Now, obviously, this map being a little bit bigger means that you could potentially have a bit more space between the teams, but as we've seen historically, a lot of the teams actually don't do that. They don't really put big spaces between themselves. They sort of know where the hotspots are, and they play around that quite effectively. You know, they take a sort of a more active approach to the game, and we already have a couple of hits coming through immediately. That's going to be ISO taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, that's Hub already putting those shots in. So let's see if we can find a Hub on the map here. Oh, there we go. They were right underneath ISO. I couldn't even spot them there. And Hacienda del Patron is a hot spot just on the start of the match. Nano now being the Lone Ranger. Let's see, will he get those hits in on the players there from Hub? Wow, early action. Just the way we love it.
Yeah, that's what we like. It is what we like.
Beautiful play there by Nano, getting that quick hit into Ranger just as he turns the corner. Gets greeted by a barrel in the face.
Yeah, so right now we can see quite a number of teams very close together. Now, of course, we are talking about how ISO is very much on top of Hub there, but there's also a couple of other teams that are quite close. We'll talk about them in a second. Hub's still taking a bit of damage, but you can see MEA and Gun quite close to one another there towards the west. And towards the south, Vibrance and Odyssey also quite close, but it's going to be ISO and Hub still battling it out there, right, just above San Martin.
Well, some beautiful plays coming in from Nano here. He is just ripping it up, quickly gets the res in on Xenon. I'm going to smoke it up, trying to get some of the health back in before they start pushing up. Oh, Nano just trying to clear it out, but gets hit. Xenon gets taken out as well. Well done, well played to Hub.
Yeah, that's going to be ISO sent back to the lobby. So they are the first team to get booted back to the lobby in this map, and they will not be the last, that's for sure. We can see Resurrection and the Dragons up just underneath La Cobreria. They are close together. Potential fights brewing all over the place. Now, of course, the distance between the teams, as we keep talking about on this map, is always deceptive when you look at the map. However, there's some good chance that the teams will definitely find one another. You can see Gun and MEA very, very close. You can see a couple other teams quite close as well. So I'm expecting a couple of fights to break out very, very soon before the teams start making their way in towards that zone, which is on the eastern side of the map.
Well, so far, Gun's position was pretty good, and then I think one of them had a misfire. Ooh, Rez turning up the heat on the Dragons as well. That, of course, up, as you mentioned, up there in La Cabrera. You can see what we've got going over here. Dan now moving up, trying to get the Rez in on Blade. We've got Rez moving up, Sheik and Nero fairly close to them. Here we go. The Rez now on the approach. Oh, and Dizzy gets greeted there by Dan, putting those shots in. Oh,
shots are ringing forth. Here come the hits. Dan gonna fall. Apollo very close behind as well. Gonna be dropping Blade as well. Falling is Dizzy. So right off the bat, it's Sheik, Wes to try and bring some order back to the Dragons. So Resurrection gonna push this one.
well, the
It's gonna be the Dragons. Yeah, they got the res in there. They're moving up. Could have a good peek into this one. The shots are firing. There it is. The beginnings of the fight. Dragons could become the victors here if they catch them out. Oh, a Garen coming through.
beautiful finish to them right there.
Very, very nicely played. That's the second team back to the lobby now. And it looks like we might just have some more fights happening towards the north there. You can see Shellshock very close to the outsiders. Moving in.
Oh, we got Preset now just falling back ever so slightly, just trying to give himself some breathing space there, while the outsiders, of course, now move in. And he's also got no reinforcements, the remainder of his squad, of course, being all the way up on the hill. So Wanda and Lala, as you can see, just off in the distance there. No idea where Tulo is. Or Tolu. There we go.
Tholu. Something like that.
Yes, him. The one that's driving.
Yes. In any case, the outsiders are very much grouped together, so Shellshocked do have a bit of a disadvantage unless they manage to group their squad up before any sort of engagement happens. There's still a good bit of a distance between them, so they do not have to worry like just now. But the shots have already started to ring out, so that's going to be Preset falling. The shot's still ringing forth. Shellshocked has to fire back. Otherwise, the outsiders will come out on top. Of course, they do have quite a good position here, and that is paying off. So that's going to be Preset actually getting wiped out. And Shellshock find themselves a man down.
Oh, beautiful play there by the outsiders, though. Sneaking up, getting those hits in while, Preset was trying to run all the way up the hill. Of course, putting himself right out there in the open, fully exposed. And outsiders taking full advantage of that and using it. Using it to get some frags in. So well done, well played.
Yeah, you got to do it. Looks like they will be moving into the zone as well. Now that blue zone has not started to come in just yet. There's still a good amount of time before that really becomes a big threat. But needless to say, most of the teams are inside the zone boundaries. So it's only a couple of teams that do have to make their way down, that being Shellshock, the Dragons, TMP, Gun, and MEA also making their way in as we speak. So they will be able to find themselves inside the zone and get a little bit comfy. We'll wait for the rest of the teams to make their way in as well, slowly but surely.
Well, we're basically just waiting on the rotations from Gun, Temper, and the Dragons. So, you know, they just need to make their way up in towards zone, and we might see the players here from the outsiders now start bumping heads with the players there from Hub. Right, of course, just over in the compound here. We got the outsiders now putting up on top of the hill. Hub already sitting on 3 kills. We got Cat now moving up. Is he going to bump in to the outsiders there? Of course, right there. Just hear the
Yeah,
vehicle.
they're very, very close.
Here we go. So Cat sends one off.
Yeah, they're very close, but this hill is just giving them enough cover that they have not engaged just yet, but it's only a matter of time before one of them spots out the other. Nades are being prepped.
Well, let's see if this one from Bob will ring true. It's sent all the way down the hill, right up in towards where Hub is.
Yeah, they just retreat towards the building to just get away from that that explosion, the explosions that are coming out there from outsiders. Looks like Jesse is going to be taking a bit of an expedition around there, an expedition crew to try and flank behind. Meanwhile, the forward engagement begins. It's going to be Queen taking quite a bit of damage. Ooh. Can hear those shots ringing out as Ranger also taking quite a bit of damage. The outsiders putting in a good amount of shots. Cat in the line of fire as well. The outside is actually going to be losing a member as well. Cat going to fall. Now the player's just hunkering down inside the house to try and stay alive as Cat gets taken back to the lobby.
Well, very interesting play here by Hub. You know, they had the push there from the outsiders coming in, and a pretty good defense. I mean, they lost a player in the process, but I mean they still managed to fall back into the compound. You know, regroup, regather themselves. You know, and see if they can, you know, maybe come up with a strategy to keep the players here from the outsiders at bay. But Rasta and Andrew are both now pushing in. Oh, down goes Ranger. The outsiders not wasting any time, making a quick rush.
Yeah, they're coming in from all sides right now. They're not letting Hub get any time to breathe. The outsiders moving in immediately, taking those shots. They know that the Hub team are sort of down at the moment, so pushing their advantage is a great choice. But meanwhile, Outside is actually going to be taking a little bit of damage themselves as Hub does their best to stay alive and play around their cover.
Ooh, Queen getting hit by
Andrew.
their own molly there. What a push there by the outsiders.
Andrew gets a nice shot. They actually go straight over the roof to the other side, hops onto the balcony and catches a player just as they were coming out. So,
Wow.
yeah, really, really good stuff. And they do what they need to do. They get it done, and that's Hub back to the lobby.
Well, we got Odyssey now slowly but surely moving up near La Vendita. We got Vibrant, of course, just over towards their south-southeast. And then, of course, the Exiles now also moving up just off in the distance.
Ooh, the Dragons are actually moving in very quickly towards outsiders. This could be a potential another fight. Vibrant also going to be taking some damage as well in the meantime. That is in the center of zone there, where there are 3 or so teams sitting in between Las Leones and Impala. But here it looks like the Dragons and outsiders will be running into one another very, very soon.
Well,
I wonder
the
which fight will
Exiles,
break out first.
the Exiles are pushing up straight on towards Vibrant. Full squad moving in. Up they come. Shots flying all over the place. Nova, of course, managing to regain some health after getting rezzed up. Down goes Pounds.
Ooh.
We got Luffy, Nova, and 6.
All the Exiles move in. Vibrant putting up such a fight. The shots will ring through, but it's up to 6. The last player left standing for the team hits the deck to try and get something done. Pounds and Nova is going to fall, so that is Vibrant sent back to the lobby. Exiles come out on top of that one. Well played. Good assault.
Yeah, that was a really good push there. I mean, they just got that one knock on, and you know, just decided, okay, well, now's the time. Let's just rush. Poof, off they go. Make the move. Come in. Get the wipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah, timing is very powerful. Meanwhile, looks like Pyro is going to take a bit of a nosedive.
Oh, the Dragons now opening fire over towards Temper.
Yeah, they've made their way down into zone, and they have come into contact with Temper. Now, outsiders are, well, towards the outside here, so they have, they did not take that fight with Dragons. Dragons just moving their way down into zone. We don't have any teams outside aside from Shellshock, which are there towards the north, just sort of sitting there. They have a bit of time, so they are not under any sort of pressing field to get into the zone. So now we're just going to wait a little bit as the pressure comes through and the teams start to move around within that zone.
Well, the Dragons in a bit of a tough spot here. They're out in the open where we've got Temper all snugly, you know, packed up in the compound. You know, so they can very easily defend their position while the Dragons, you know...
Yeah, they need to sort of get out of there. Or at least relocate to a better position.
Yeah.
Which it looks like they will be doing. They're going to be hopping into those cars and just moving their way out of that one. I think exactly like you said, TMP, they're sitting quite snugly in there, don't really want to take a fight. Dragons know they are better off just moving out of there, going somewhere else, or at least setting up in a bit more of a comfy spot. That zone has yet to come in and make any threatening moves, so they're still sitting quite happily within the zone. Everyone's got their little spots. You can see Gun towards the south there. SG just above Los Leones. The Exile still in the same spot there after their successful raid. Odyssey just above them. TMP just above that. You can see Ekasi just to the side. And Dragons as well. So everyone sitting quite close, but still not close enough to really be threatening to one another just yet.
Pretty sure we're going to see the shots starting
Although I'm
to
sure
fly.
that will change momentarily. Yeah. Will definitely be coming out soon enough. It is, of course, only a matter of time. Shellshock looking to make their way down into the zone as well, just above Junkyard, which will complete everyone being inside the zone.
Odyssey opening fire on Temper. Some long-range hits coming in. We got Mayo taking a bit of damage there. Flacco also taking a few hits. So Temper was, they were focusing their attention over towards Ekasi, as you can see over there towards the east. And now, of course, we've got the players here from Odyssey creeping in from the southwestern side. Comfortably sitting up in, what's that? Looks like, oh, La Bendita, yeah, just outside of La Bendita.
Yeah. They could cause a little bit of a problem for TMB actually if they push that advantage. Meanwhile, actually, it looks like Exiles are going to be taking a fight with the blokes there from what is that? That is Spaza Gaming. Yes, going to be taking a little bit of a fight with them. But just going back to what I was saying, Odyssey have the potential to really throw a span in the works for TMP because if they continue taking a fight from Ekasi, then they're going to be very much split fighting Ekasi and Odyssey. On both sides, so that could potentially be a bit of a problem for them unless they can somehow manage to fight that one out. Now the zone has become smaller, and most of the teams are still inside that. Exist going to have to move up, and Outside is also going to have to move up along with Shellshocked. But Exist could potentially run right into the backside of Ekasi.
Yeah, no, we've got Exist, not
which
too
could
far
be
away.
difficult.
Clutch and Zodiac moving in, but shots now from flying up and, well, and back and forth between the players here from Temper and Ekasi. Good Grim trying to get a few hits in. And like you mentioned, we've got the players there from Exist now just moving up behind them, slowly but surely creeping in.
Yeah, so this could be a little bit of a sandwich once again if they continue to push in that direction. Exist just cresting the mound there towards Ekasi. Could draw their fire away from TMP for the moment. Exist actually making their way around, just at least getting themselves inside that zone. So they avoid just getting knocked out, trying to move in. Very wisely moving around that one, just making sure they get into the zone itself. But they might just run into MEA if they continue along their current path, which could be an issue. There's a lot of teams very close by now. You can see Spaza Gaming and Gun towards the south of the zone there. All the teams just trying to find a comfy spot. TMP going to be taking a couple of hits from Ekasi.
Well, that's quite the shot, though. I mean, Grim is
yeah.
Like, that is some great shooting there. Well done.
Yeah, we got to expect that kind of stuff coming out there. You know, we are in quite a series. You know, this is the top tier gameplay right here.
Mm-hmm.
See Gun actually moving up on SG there, and actually SG going to start falling. Deity goes down. Gun pushing in towards the rest of the team from Spaza Gaming. Slim actually going to drop in the meantime.
What a grin. Oh, Risk.
Good one from Risks. Makes his way all the way to the roof to get a good eye on the situation. Takes some good shots, and this should be Coco going down, and it is. Now we're looking at Berserk trying to fend off against the rest of the Gun squad here. Not going to be an easy time.
Berserk now getting circled. Exist gets taken down by, well, gets hit by the Dragons. What a play by Gun.
Yeah, well played. They just keep pushing their advantage. They play smart and get the angles, and yeah, they take down a team. So well played from there. That's Spaza Gaming gone back to the lobby. Now we can see MEA quite close to the Dragons here, as well as Exist and the Exiles. And well, it looks like we still have a bit of the stalemate coming out from Ekasi, TMP, and the Odyssey team there. Still a little bit of a sandwich for them as they have their crosshairs trained on one another.
But it's great to see Gun making the comeback, you know, having a bit of a tough round in the first one. You know, they're now playing the game that we know they play.
Yeah. It's like I said in the beginning of that round there when they went out, you know, they definitely have the potential to do a lot better, and this is, you know, this is that just showing itself and sort of going to show what I said is quite correct, because we've seen them do a lot better than just getting knocked out first. So yeah, this is them just showing us that they can put up the fights they need to get and win the fights. So well played by them. Good to see them back in the action. Speaking of back in the action, we're about to get straight back into the action because MEA are getting assaulted there by the Dragons.
Good. Ekasi also now pulling up just over there towards the northwest.
Yeah. Potentially be another spicy sandwich there if they decide to move up, but the Dragons are very, very close. Ekasi actually doing some work as well, so that is shots from all sides. Shellshock actually also taking some damage all the way on the other side of the map. That's going to be the Odyssey squad knocking them over, taking them out. It's going to be Wanderlost left alive, and I don't think they are left long in the server. TMP actually going to be rotating around there as well, so we're just about to see quite the fight happen towards the north there. Another sandwich. There's a lot of sandwiches happening here. Odyssey going to be taking a lot of casualties. TMP as well. Odyssey is falling one by one. They have to try and hold out.
And Wonder also just there Just
Yeah.
holding on for dear life. Hiding, a pretty
Yeah,
good
very
hiding
much in a
spot
pickle.
though.
Yeah, it is actually a really good hiding spot because it's very unlikely that they will check there unless they spot him out, just by a random chance, but very much in a difficult situation. Meanwhile, a good Garen's going to come down towards Optic, going to knock him over as TMP continue their assault there. On the other side, Exile's also doing quite a bit of work. Great Garen going over towards Optic to take him out. Jack West going to be falling as well, so there's a lot of fights happening here. One towards the north, one towards the east. Oh, that's Wonder getting taken down. Shave just trying to hide there as best as he could, but it's not going to work out. Now it's just Odyssey versus TMP. Ooh, Sidon is very much up in the grill of TMP as they assault the house. Sidon very much in a difficult situation. The rest of the Odyssey team all the way on the other side of the little compound going on there. Yeah, there's Sidon to fall, trying to sneak his way through the smoke to try and escape. Meanwhile, on the other side, Exist going to be taking some damage there from Ekasi. The zone has gotten a whole lot smaller. Shellshock going to be falling on the western side of the zone. The outside is going to be making quick work of them winning that fight out and sending them back to the lobby. And now we have to wait for all those outlying teams there to start moving in as that zone is getting smaller and smaller. TMP and Gun going to be falling there. The outsiders taking casualties. Odyssey as well.
Yeah, it all is
Honestly,
resting
I don't even know who to
on-
focus on at this time.
It all is resting on Nomad. He just got that quick res in on side and side and now needs to recover that health. Quick bit of pre-fire there just to keep them at bay for just a little bit longer. Oh, and down they go.
Yeah, a great assault from TMP. They just come at it from all angles, really don't give the outsiders any room to breathe. So that was very, very well done.
Wow.
Now we're just waiting for the teams to rotate in because all of the teams towards the east there, that being TMP, Ekasi, Exist, MEA, and the Dragons, have to make their way in towards the zone. Ooh, that's going to be the outsiders getting taken down as well by Gun. So Gun still doing the work, still putting in the fights and winning them in the end. So they really, really want to correct their mistake of that first round there where they went out first. So they're doing a really good job of doing that. And they are inside the zone, so they can get nice and comfy. Exiles also just on the edge of the zone there as well. Ekasi and TMP now making their way in. MEA riding right past the Dragons could result in something. Ekasi actually taking a lot of damage there. Everything getting blown up in their face, and that's just going to be chaos there as TMP and the rest of the squad pulling their magic. Dragons going to be shooting out over towards MEA. Ekasi gonna fall and get taken back to the lobby. The Dragons gonna be claimed by the play zone, which is not a great spot to take fights in. And blue zone is making its way in very quickly.
Yep, it waits for no one. It just whips right up. Wow.
Yeah, it certainly does not wait for anyone, and it does quite a bit of damage there, and you can see that coming through. Gun and the Dragons still taking some fights here, but definitely that blue zone doing quite a bit of damage.
We got MEA, the Dragons, the Exiles, we've got Temper, and then of course Gun. Those are our 5 final players.
Yeah.
Our final teams. I said players.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
look at
those
this-
are indeed our final teams.
Look at this last bit of zone. I mean, this is just exposed earth.
Yeah, it's like a bare bones bad land of nothing, where your hay bales are pretty much your only cover. Now, Gun have set themselves up inside a nice little set of buildings there towards the one side. Exiles also trying to hunker their way up, but yeah, like you said, it is very, very exposed. You can see MEA actually taking up positions underneath this little shelter here, try and get themselves hidden by those hay bales to try and take the cover. That zone will start to move in shortly, and that will make things pretty uncomfortable. Exiles are still within the zone, so they are more or less okay. But Gun will have to move forward. You can see the smokes going down to cover that. Of course, you don't want to be running across an open field. That is pretty much a signing yourself back to the lobby immediately. So they're going to smoke that one up before they make their moves.
Oh, down go the Dragons as well.
Yeah. Yeah, they get claimed.
Gun choosing a bit of a tough spot to go into. Slim, of course, now being the last hope for left. Well, they had no other choice.
Yeah. Yeah, they really didn't. They were in quite a pickle. Like I said, they had to make their way in because they were outside of that zone, and they did their best to smoke it off and move in. And now we're left with 4 teams here, everyone hunkering down, trying to make it happen. Everyone's got a little bit of cover to try and work with, but the zone is definitely unforgiving. TMP, Gun, Exiles, and MEA, the 4 teams remaining. And they're just doing their absolute best to try and make this very much exposed landscape work as best they can. You can see the smokes are just getting popped left and right to make sure that the visibility is as low as possible for the enemies. But it's only a matter of time before that becomes moot, because once this zone starts moving in again, it'll become a firefight. They're just going to have to spray bullets and hope that it hits somewhere. You could pretty much shoot a bullet in any direction and it'll hit somebody. Gun going to be taking some damage there as well. As the bullets rain in, so will the Grens as well. Gun going to take a lot of shots, a lot of hits. Exiles ruthless and relentlessly taking out MEA there. Great engagement from them, and now TMP move up on Gun, and that wipes them out, and there it is.
Game, set, match. Just like that. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even see that last engagement.
No.
It happened so quickly. The Exiles just took their shots and landed them with precision.
Yeah, no, that's just insane. I mean, wow, that was so quick.
You know, TMP literally just moved in, took down Gun, and as they moved in and finished Gun off, Exiles just instantly, surgically removed them from that match and took that chicken dinner. Well played to all the teams here, and well played to Gun from going from last in the first map to 3rd place now here in the second map. So well played to them. A very, very good improvement there, and well played to all the teams. That's a lot of frags coming out there for the top 3.
Yeah, so we got the Exiles taking the chicken. We've got Temper finishing in 2nd, Gun in 3rd, as you mentioned. MEA, of course, in 4th place. The Dragons in 5th place. Then, of course, Exist taking 6th place. We got Ekasi in 7th. The Outsiders in 8th. We got Nibble Odyssey finishing off in 9th place. We got Shellshock in 10th. We've got the players there from Spaza Gaming finishing in 11th. Vibrant in 12th place. The players from Hub in 13th. Then, of course, ResHaunted finishing off in 14th place. And then Team ISO finishing off in 15th place. So what an interesting turn of events that was. That was really, really... Wow, that was an insane zone. I mean...
Yeah, that final zone was definitely quite a difficult one to play around. It is not easy to play around in a zone like that where you basically have no cover and have to just rely completely on smokes to try and work around them. So yeah, it was definitely difficult to maneuver and definitely difficult to play in, and well played to the Exiles, who made it work quite well. They're just taking up a good position and being able to capitalize on all the things that were happening, all the rotations that were happening. So, and obviously being able to remove the players there so quickly, just well played there. So yeah, good stuff all across the board. Some great fights, pretty much from start to finish. So yeah, it was good to see.
Yeah, there we go.
Looking
Right,
for the next one. Let's go.
let's get into the highlights of the second match, and of course we'll bring you guys back right when we are ready with the third one. Right, so without any further ado, off we go.
Still battling it out there, right? Just above San Martin.
Well, some beautiful plays coming in from Nano here. He is just ripping it up. Quickly gets the res in on Xenon. I'm going to smoke it up, trying to get some of the health back in before they start pushing up. Oh, Nano just trying to clear it out, but gets hit. Xenon gets taken out as well. Well done. Well played to Hub.
So Resurrection going to push this one.
The
It's gonna be the
Dragons
Dragons. Yeah, they got the res in there. They're moving up. Could have a good peek into this one. The shots are firing. There it is. The beginnings of the fight. Dragons could become the victors here if they catch them out. Oh, Garen coming through.
Beautiful finish to them right there.
Right now, they're not letting Hub get any time to breathe. The outside is moving in immediately, taking those shots. They know that the Hub team are sort of down at the moment, so pushing their advantage is a great choice. But meanwhile, outside is actually going to be taking a little bit of damage themselves, as Hub does their best to stay alive and play around their cover.
Ooh, Queen getting hit by
Andrew.
the own molly there. What a push there by the outsiders.
Ooh.
We got Luffy, Nova, and 6.
Oh, the Exiles move in, Vibrant putting up such a fight. The shots will ring through, but it's up to 6. The last player left standing for the team hits the deck to try and get something done. Pounds and Nova is going to fall, so that is Vibrant sent back to the lobby. Exiles go to the roof to get a good eye on the situation, take some good shots, and this should be Coco going down, and it is. Now we're looking at Berserk trying to fend off against the rest of the gun squad here. Not going to be an easy time.
Berserk now getting circled. Exist gets taken down by, well, gets hit by the Dragons. What a play by Gun.
Going to be falling there. The outsiders taking casualties. Odyssey as well.
Yeah, it all is
Honestly,
resting
I don't even know how to
on-
focus on it this time.
It all is resting on Nomad. He just got that quick res in on side and side and now needs to recover that health. Quick bit of pre-fire there just to keep them at bay for just a little bit longer. Oh, and down they go. Recover that health. Quick bit of pre-fire there just to keep them at bay for just a little bit longer. Oh, and down they go.
Yeah, a great assault from TMP. They just come at it from all angles, really don't give the outsiders any room to breathe. So that was very, very well done.
Wow.
Now we're just waiting for the teams to rotate in, because all of the teams towards the east there, that being TMP, Ekasi, Exist, MEA, and the they went out first. So they're doing a really good job of doing that. And they are inside the zone, so they can get nice and comfy. Exiles also just on the edge of the zone there as well. Ekasi and TMP now making their way in. MEA riding right past the Dragons could result in something. Ekasi actually taking a lot of damage there. Everything getting blown up in their face, and that's just going to be chaos there as TMP and the rest of the squad pulling their magic. Dragon's going to be shooting out over towards any bullet in any direction, and it'll hit somebody. Gun going to be taking some damage there as well. As the bullets rain in, so will the Grens as well. Gun going to take a lot of shots, a lot of hits. Exiles ruthless and relentlessly taking out MEA there. Great engagement from them, and now TMP move up on Gun, and that wipes them out, and there it is.
Game, set, match.
Burning the bridge that keeps us. I'm here and I'm feeling fearless. Exaggerated, that's what you assume. I must conclude I am conflicted, watching where I step, still hanging in the balance. Not the life I want to live, I want to take it all. Standing tall, fear outweighed the person you are. Oh, break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it in a sense, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And to quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch. And my business is humongous, you would think that happens in there. Damn man, I'm all that, yeah, I'm all that. Looking for that whip, yeah, that what you call that. I'ma blow up in the summer, have them yelling fall back. And I've always been ahead like an effing ball cap. Man, I came in the game like, whoa. Got a couple chains on me cause I like gold. They told me I'm the best and I told them I know. Cause when I'm in your town, every ticket I sold. Yeah, they saying I'm the man. Facts, bro. Lot of haters, tell me where they at though. I'm the new pop, all I do is rap though. Want me on your song, throw a couple stacks, yo. Woo! Everybody wanna do the same thing. That's why we ain't on the same page. Do my own thing, and I maintain. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah. I'm going mainstream. Damn. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Woo. I'm going mainstream.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Right, we are getting into our third match for the Pro Series, and it has been absolutely insane just watching these teams go at it. It has been action, 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 and absolutely fantastic to be watching. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. Patchy, I'm really looking forward to this match. I am, yeah.
Yeah, no, me as well. I mean, the first match on this map was quite interesting. So I'm quite interested to see how the teams actually sort of react and respond, and maybe change up a little bit of their strategies going into this this map once again. See if they change anything out, you know, see how they approach it from maybe a different angle to try and get some better results for those teams that didn't really make it to where they wanted to be. And yeah, I'm expecting to see some spicy stuff once again.
Yeah, all right. So the teams that we've got in the lobby, once again, as you can see there, is we have the Dragons, of course, over in slot 2. We've got Ekasi in 3, the Exiles in 4, Exist in 5, Gun in 6, we've got Hub in 7, we've got MEA Africa in 9, we've got Odyssey in 10, we've got the Outsiders in 11. Also have ResHaunted over in 12, we've got Shellshock in 13, we've got the players from Spaza Gaming in 15. Temper in 16, and then last but not least, we've got the players from Vibrant occupying slot 17, and once again a very decent flight path.
Yeah, we've got a flight path going down there from the southeast all the way to the northwest. So once again, we have a very decent path that's going to allow access to the rest of the map. So once again, the teams will be able to decide where they want to drop. There's nothing really too far out of reach for them. You know, the flight path isn't hugely skewed anywhere. So pretty much everything's accessible, which means that the teams will once again get their pick. But what we saw from the last time is that the teams, despite having the ability to go pretty much anywhere they liked, there were two places, I think, that were almost immediately populated, and those two spots became quite hot zones for early fighting. So we'll see if we see that once again. Obviously, a lot of teams wanting to get to the same spots and obviously contesting those same spots, and we'll see if that comes out again. You can see a couple of teams sort of heading in similar directions, so we'll see where these teams land up and if we'll see some of those early fights.
Well, I think La Cabrera is definitely going to be an interesting spot to be. We've got 3 teams making their way down right here. We've got Shellshock, we've got the Dragons, and then of course we've got the players there from ResHaunted. So 3 teams dropping right on each other here. We've got Psycho Wolf now pushing up over in the direction of Dan. And then, of course, the players there from Shellshock taking the central part.
Yeah, and interesting to note that zone is literally all the way on the western side of the map, like all the way on that side. So all the teams that have decided to go towards the east will have to loot themselves up and eventually make their way towards the western side where that zone is. Now you can see Gun and MEA quite close to one another there in Monte Nuevo. And also in La Cabrera, as you said, there's quite a number of teams very, very close. So they're going to be looking to get that loot going immediately and hopefully getting themselves either out of trouble or a few quick frags there. We'll see who manages to get that done first. The Dragons are quite spread out here and Shellshocked right in between them like a wedge. We'll see if that proves to be a problem as MEA take their first knock and casualty from Gun.
Now that was
of course is yeah.
That was a tough one for Vile there. I mean, he just got rushed by the whole Gun squad. Nowhere to run, nowhere to move, and wow. Definitely a tough start.
Yeah, and the rest of MEA actually moving away, so Panda is all the way on the other side quite alone against the entirety of the Gun squad. So if they find Panda is pretty much well, it's not going to be an easy one. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah, there's not much hope. It's going to be a
maybe the only thing you have is hope.
Yeah. But it's definitely going to be a tough one, especially, looking at the teams that they're going up against. Gun has really turned around their gameplay, and they're really bringing it at this game just that early aggression, I mean, you can see that they mean business and they want to push themselves back up the leaderboard. You know,
Yeah.
they want those frags, they want that, you know, they want the chicken, or as close to the chicken as they can get. Yeah, and it's pretty
Yeah, it's a
evident.
good drive to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, when you have potential like that, you know, when you know that you can perform quite well and quite consistently, it is very frustrating to, you know, go out first. You know, it's one thing just going out early, and it's another thing entirely for the mental game to go out first. You know, that's a very heavy hitting sort of thing to feel like you're the first team to get taken out. And I think Gun, they took that to heart, and they were like, well, we're not going to be the first team to go down ever again. We're just going to fight back because we know we can do better. So we're gonna press our advantage. We're gonna take our fights, and we're gonna try and win them and make sure that we don't make that mistake again. So yeah, it's good to see them with drive and invigorated once again. And yeah, hopefully the rest of the teams can also keep themselves driven. Now we can see La Cobrera has become depopulated as the Dragons move off in separate directions, and Shellshock just making their way up. Resurrection have moved as well. So now we are waiting for some fights to happen. Of course, Panda has been able to make a bit of an escape and sort of distance themselves from the gun squad. The rest of MEA moving over to Power Grid. And pretty much all the rest of the teams on the map spread out around the place, just waiting to get themselves in a good spot, you know, make sure they have all the equipment they need before they head into the next couple of zones.
Yeah, and I mean, and this is definitely not an easy one. You know, if it was any other competition or any other tournament, you know, it's not always such tough competition, but this one especially, the Pro Series, the teams are just getting better and better season by season, week by week, and I mean, it is really, really tough, and you need to learn how to, you know, just cope with all the pressure of this, and it's fantastic seeing these teams, you know, being able to pull that off. You know, like the move that we saw from Gun, they coming back all the way, you know, from being sent back to the lobby first in the first round, you know, bringing themselves back with quite a bash, coming in, showing that they, you know, that they want to be here, they want to perform, they want to, you know, get those frags, get up the leaderboard. It's something, you know, it's something that's really, really great to see. And I mean, all these teams, you know, you can see that there's a bit of a switch that happened. We're watching some of the teams, of course, now that we had that promoted up from Open Series up into Pro Series, and you can see why the teams were promoted. You know, it's not just the luck of the draw. It's actually, you know, based on the performance and how they've been playing, and you know, it's really well deserved, and it makes for a fantastic show.
Yeah, it certainly does. It certainly does. It's always good to see, you know, teams making it up here, you know, putting in the performance, giving us a good show. Speaking of a good show, though, Odyssey going to be throwing themselves out of vehicles. Going to be a bit of an interesting time there, having a bit of a party.
Trying to crash their own party.
Yeah, that seems to be the case. Now, right now on the map, we're just waiting for teams to get a little bit more snuggly, a little bit more close up and personal to get those fights going. Still a pretty good distance between most of the teams, and this is a nice switch up from the previous match where we saw a lot of clumping and a lot of teams, you know, sort of running into one another and not really expecting players to, or at least as many players to be in the positions that they were in, and that led to a little bit of chaos and a little bit of potentially unnecessary fighting. So it's good to see out here that teams are a lot more cautious now, playing a little bit slow, a little bit more spread out. Speaking of that, though, Vibrant and Exiles going to be exchanging a little bit of fire there.
But it's great to see the reaction times. I mean, you know, they have these teams push up and they just ready to fight from the get-go.
Yeah.
It amazes me how, you know, how quickly these players can react, you know, to what's going on. I take my hats off to them, you know. Not just my hats. I said hats.
Yeah, that's you've got a lot of hats. Many hats. You're wearing many hats.
Yes.
How many hats are you wearing?
One at the moment. But even the backup ones, I'll take them as well.
No, you've got to be wearing at least 5 hats to be taken seriously here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going ahead.
I've got like 5 beanies on right now. You can't see it because I'm standing by this tree, but
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
You're branching out with your beanie.
yes, quite. All right, so right now we're still waiting for those fights to start breaking out. The team's seeing, as we were talking about earlier, just a little bit more cautious. And Odyssey seem very, very fond of throwing themselves off of cliffs and out of vehicles.
Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that.
I think that's like 2 Odyssey players now that we've seen just flung across the map and just.
Yeah, so this was Supreme.
Yeah.
He was moving about in his in his motorbike, and
they just fling themselves across. They have no care for personal safety whatsoever. They just speed down the road at 300 k's and just fling themselves off of their bikes.
As one does, that's how PUBG works.
As one does. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they continue doing that. Now it looks like Gun and Exiles are still relatively close, but still we're waiting just for the teams to, get into the positions here. We are just waiting for that to happen because right now they're still quite cautious, still quite spread out. So the teams are just relocating basically, and that's where the fights are starting to break out. So right now, Resurrection going to be taking a couple of fights there against. Wow, that is a really close. I can't even know what the name is. Exist, there it is. Exist. They're gonna be doing some work there, taking down some players there from Res, and that's Res G getting taken down as well, which means that we are down to 2 Resurrection players remaining.
Yeah,
and they are all the way on the other side, so not going to be anywhere close to that fight.
It was a beautiful grin though, there by Zodiac, finishing them off. Yeah. I mean, it amazes me how how the players are using the utilities. The smoke, like we saw in the previous round. That final zone. The bare open field. Dropping the smokes all up over the place. Making some nice cover to rotate up in towards zone. Fairly safely. Taking into account that there are so many teams, of course, now with their scopes focused right on you. But I mean, we've seen a few amazing frags over the past few matches. Not necessarily just today, but I mean, I'm referring to, games that we've seen in the previous series as well, or seasons.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, big ups to these players. They're doing a fantastic job. And you can see why they are playing in the Pro Series.
Yeah. Well, I mean, earlier on, a lot earlier on, we were speaking about, just wanting to see some improvement and hoping that, the teams continue to work hard and just improve themselves and get better. And that's exactly what we've been seeing here. Basically match by match, the caliber just continues to increase and improve. So it's great to see that sort of work getting put in and a lot of improvement coming out from the teams. And like you said, you can see why they're here. And it's just great to watch. It really is. It's really fun. So right now we can see Shellshock and Ekasi rolling up quite close to one another. Could potentially cause a fight there, as well as to the north side of the zone. Quite a few teams very close as well, or at least close enough. But now we're waiting to see if Shellshock and Ekasi will engage. You can hear the shots starting to ring out. Ekasi getting assaulted as they make their way across the road, but they will potentially make themselves out of harm's way, although Grim does get blown up from some good suppressing fire there from Shellshocked. So yeah, they take down Grim, which is 1 player less for Ekasi, and that convoy will continue across the road and make their way to safety. So a good little pick coming out there from Shellshocked, getting themselves one quick one.
Yep.
as Ekasi drives by. The rest of the teams making their way into zone. This time, though, there are two sort of areas where the teams are focused around, that being towards the north and one being towards the southwest there, around La Drillera.
Here we go. Yes.
That one.
Lots of teams around.
Yes. Yes.
So Risk
Yes.
here from Gun now. He's slowly but surely moving up on the Exile. Sorry, just getting a quick spot on him there. Putting a quick few shots across. You can see Risk now, of course, just quickly retreating. And we've got the players from Temper. They're closing in. Moving right up on the Dragons.
Yeah.
And Rez right there with them as well.
Yeah, Rez just on the other side there, but it is TMP and Dragons taking the shots. Check West are going to be falling.
Oh, we had some quick recon there from Shady, just moving up, just trying to see what's going on. And then, of course, now just quickly falling back. So Sheik about to get rest up by Dan Blade. Trying to find a good angle on the players there from Temper up on the hill. But it is surprisingly difficult because if you expose yourself just a little bit too much or just a little bit too long, then those shots come in and they take you down.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you get knocked over, you know, that's a whole bunch of resources that have to be used on you to get you back up and running. And that's resources that you will obviously not have going forward, which are quite critical, you know, to the later stages of play. So obviously you don't want to be wasting too much of that. Of course, down towards the the eastern side of the zone, you can see Vibrant also quite close to Odyssey, the motorbike flinging squad there.
Oh, Bounds getting pounded there by Side, and down he goes. Now we got 6, Nova and Luffy left. Let's see, will Odyssey be able to pull this one off? We got them right in front in the compound. Vibrant getting a bit shaken there.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely gonna have to be some fighting here to resolve this. I think we'll see Vindog making his way around to try and get some sort of a flank going onto Vibrant. As the nades come in, the shots ring out. It's only a matter of time before people start to drop, and there comes the first. So Pounds getting taken down. And Exist following on the record of this game of flinging oneself out of a vehicle.
Yes, as one does.
That seems to be the theme.
On Miramar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who needs vehicles to get around? I mean, they're much more fun if you just throw yourself from them. All right, looks like Sidon's going to be moving out, and he could potentially spot some plays out here. Oh, there it is. The shots are going through. Sidon picks up Nova. 6 gonna fall as well. So Odyssey not letting up, not letting Vibrant escape. And like you said, Vibrant looking a little shaken here. 6 gonna get taken down, finished off by Supreme. Now Nova and Luffy make that just Luffy, as Nova gets thirsted as well. Luffy, the last one left for Vibrant. And yeah, it's not looking good. Got a whole squad of Odyssey to try and face off on. And yeah, not long left. There it is. Taken down and out. So that's gonna be Vibrant, the first team to get taken out, which actually took quite a considerable amount of time. These teams have had a very, very high survivability rate, but now the frags start coming in. MEA going to be losing a couple. I mean, these teams have survived quite a long time, especially compared to the previous match, where so many teams had already fallen. We still have 46 players, and look at the zone. It is very small in comparison. It is very, very small.
These teams are putting up one fantastic show, I must say.
Yeah, they certainly are.
It's insane, you know. Like,
I mean, I was just talking in the previous map about, you know, or at least in the beginning of this map about how, you know, maybe the teams are going to switch it up a little bit from the previous one, but they've done exactly that. They've adjusted their play a little bit, and like I was saying a bit earlier, they're playing a little bit more cautiously, a little bit smarter, taking only certain engages and not really dying, and that's why we only have one team back in the lobby right now. The rest of them still up and going. Everyone moseying around the map, getting their way in. You can see towards the north there, quite a few teams clustered up. The Outsiders moving in towards TMP, and as well as SG. There's down in the south, we have a couple of teams clustered up as well. This is the first time that the teams will be in such close proximity to one another. I mean, there's a lot of teams very, very close in a big crescent moon from top to bottom. You can see Outsiders getting shot at by TMP now as they move in. It's quite a cluster there. It's SG, it's Outsiders, and TMP all up in one another's grill. It's going to be Jesse getting knocked over. As TMP continue their assault on the Outsiders, who are very much under fire right now from all sides. And you've got Outsiders to contend with. Both Spaza Gaming and TMP is not an easy order. As well as Exiles actually just putting in a couple of shots of their own.
Yeah, no, this is a horrible sandwich to be in. Wow.
Not a very tasty one, yeah.
No, this is
Unless, of course, you're on the winning team, in which case it is a very tasty sandwich full of free kills.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything near. Oh, the Outsiders. Down they go. What a beautiful, like, I call it a co-op between the teams there.
Yeah. It looked like Spaza Gaming and TMP sort of working together there, although TMP was taking a couple shots over at Spaza. But that's pretty much all off the back of the fact that the Outsiders were rotating in and trying to get into a zone where it just so happened that two other teams were sitting in very close proximity. So it's unfortunate that they had to run into that situation, but it is what it is.
Yep, no, that is most definitely true. I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
It's interesting how quite a big part of the map here is now, of course, split up right on the side.
Yeah.
It's almost like we've seen the map a few times where half the map is water. Now half the map on this one is cliff, unplayable area.
Yes.
So
yeah,
the zone is cut right in half, and we still have 12 teams, 41 players left. Wow. This is, I mean, I'm just panning around and you can see it's just teams all over the place.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to play around, like you said, that unplayable zone there, that big mountain just sitting in the way of half the map. It's going to make things difficult, but the teams can certainly play around it. Now that zone is moving in, so these teams are going to get pretty uncomfortable very, very quickly as we wait for fights to start coming in. This zone is about to resolve itself, and we will see where the next one lands. Ooh, that zone sits right slap bang on top of that mountain, which means that there is so little area to play in. Like the playable area right now in the new zone is absolutely tiny. 41 players left alive. We are about to see a lot of them go down right now. A lot of them are going to get taken out as they try and move into this absolutely tiny zone. There is definitely not enough space for everyone here. There's a lot of teams still left alive. 12 teams, 41 players, and well, they're all going to be fighting for space very, very soon. You can see Exist right there at the top of the zone. They're going to have a lot of fights to contend with. On the southern side, a lot of players also sitting there as MEA get blown up, and they take a fight against the Exiles. On towards the east is a bunch of teams as well. That's TMP and Spaza Gaming. They're clashing once again as Shellshock move in towards Exiles, who are making quick work of MEA.
Gun, yeah, once again, not wasting any time, just trying to push up straight. We've got Nerf fighting on the one side. Hub right behind them. We've got Ekasi taking some fire there from Exist. Wow. Shellshock getting hit as well.
Ooh, TMP still pressing their attack against Spaza Gaming. MEA as well pitching in towards the middle of the zone. There's TMP move in. Gun, taking a lot of shots towards Rez, and that's going to actually wipe them out. So that is now Vibrant, Rez, and the Outsiders all in the lobby. They have been sent back. Odyssey opens up fire towards the Exiles, trying to move in on their position. Shellshock also relatively close, and TMP disengaging finally from Spaza and moving in towards the zone. Odyssey going to get return fired upon by Exiles. As TMP actually move in towards that little fight going on there. So Nos might have just found himself biting off a little bit more than he can chew there. The Exile's very, very close on that position.
Oh, beautiful play.
Getting hit as well. Now the fights start to break out for sure. TMP moving in to try and fight with the Exiles. Odyssey pull out of that one. They do not want to have anything to do with that. Meanwhile, Gun going to open up fire towards Hub, and Odyssey moving in just below them as well. The Exiles getting assaulted here by TMP, who's pulling a really good job of putting up a fight against this squad.
TMP, they're not wasting any time this round. They are just pushing up in full force. Wow.
Yeah, they are not making this easy at all.
Oh, there we go.
Sure, so that is Exiles sent to the lobby as well. More fights breaking out across the map. Shellshock are going to get hit as well. So we now have 24 players and 10 teams. And, you know, this is what I was talking about. The fights breaking out to try and just cram everyone into this tiny space. Hub taking shots over towards Odyssey, who is crammed right here in between Gun. Meanwhile, on the northern side of the map, Ekasi gonna get wiped out as well, as the Dragons and Exist sit towards that side of the area. And, whew.
Yeah, no, this
Some
is
spicy fights going on here.
no, yeah, this is like spicy times 3. It is insane.
Yeah.
It's just action on action on action on action. It's non-stop. It's relentless. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I mean, the action's not about to stop here, as Odyssey as looking towards Gun. Crosshairs trying to get the shots on towards that team as they try and make their escape. Hub also needing to move up north, as that zone is very, very small, and the blue zone will be making its way in a matter of seconds. Odyssey getting hit quite hard here.
Oh, Supreme getting a beautiful few hits in. The Gun now just moving up towards the side of the cliff there. We got Mad Gas and Queen, the two remaining players here for Hub. They're now moving in, pushing up straight towards Odyssey. Oh, there we go. Shellshock gets taken down as well. MEA and the players, of course, they're from... what's that? Well, nice co-op there once again.
Yeah, Odyssey going to be losing a couple of members, and they're also going to find themselves within that zone. Meanwhile, Gun going to take a lot of casualties as they go head on with Hub on the northern side. Exist and the Dragons also pulling the trigger on one another, although the Dragons look like they're going to come out on top of that one. Flame not long left. Meanwhile, Spaza Gaming going to get taken out towards the eastern side of the map there. Dragons making quick work of the rest of the Exist squad. Oh, TMP just absolutely exploding Odyssey. Not long left for them. Hub gonna get taken down as well. We are left with very few players now. We've got Panda, we've got TMP, we've got Gun, and we've got the Dragons. And everyone needs to make it in towards this pretty much minuscule zone. I don't think I've seen a zone this tiny in a very long time. They are literally hugged right up against the mountain. This is almost impossible. Gun going to be taking so much fire because they are in the zone, but that is such a difficult spot to fight from. I don't think they can rely on zone right now. They need to take the fights. That is the only way they resolve this one without having to fight almost vertically up the side of a mountain. Pyro and Risks, the last ones there. Pyro, I'm probably going to bleed out. There it is. So it's Risks. Last one left alive for Gun. Meanwhile, TMP rolls up on MEA Panda. Last one there, trying to fight it out. The Dragons looking to be in the best position right now. Full squad, almost missing one. But that means they have the manpower to try and win this one out for themselves. They're going to have to make it quick. They're moving up towards the zone. Risks is here, has to try and defend all of the players from Dragons. He is covered by a single smoke to mask his position. Oh, Dan actually going to fall right out there, which is what you do. You know, if we're not flinging ourselves out of vehicles, then, you know, why are you playing this game?
But look at the zone, though. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
The majority of
it's
the zone
ridiculous.
is in the no playable area. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying these guys have to take fights because they can't rely on the zone. They can't sit inside there. It's going to be impossible. So they have to just take the fights right now. They have to go hunting. They have to just absolutely destroy everyone as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it's going to become very difficult. So here come the shots, Panda. Not going to be able to engage so many people at once. And they get wiped out. We have 3 teams, 6 players. And the shots continue. Risks trying to survive all by his lonesome against TMP and the Dragons, who are just fighting it out. That zone is cruel. Oh, Risks pops his head up, gets some shots in. He's just trying to lay down the fire. He gets taken down by the Dragons. Now it's TMP and the Dragons. But the zone. What a cruel and cold zone this is. Mayo is going to have to make a lot of stuff happen here. The nade goes up. Oh, but he wasn't expecting the flank, and that's going to be it. The Dragons win themselves the round.
What a play, what a play. I mean, the zone was absolutely brutal in this one. Wow. I'm so glad I was not playing in that. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already tough going up against the teams, but now having to battle the zone literally to get a good spot, or just get any kind of spot. I mean, that last bit of the zone, finishing up on the side of the cliff, there's no way to move. Where do you go? You know? Oh, wow. But
Yeah,
well done.
Definitely.
Well done,
Very
though, to
difficult
the
spot
teams,
to be
though.
in.
We got the Dragons getting the chicken dinner there. We got Tempo finishing off their play on 14 kills. Gun coming in with 8 kills in third place. The Dragons, of course, with 7 in first place. Then we got MEA in 4th place. We got Hub taking 5th. Exist taking 6th place. We got Odyssey in 7th. The players there from Spaza Gaming in 8th place. We got Shellshock in 9th. Ekasi in 10th place. The Exiles in 11th. We got Res, of course, finishing in 12th place. The Outsiders in 13th. And then we got Vibrant up in 14th place. So what a match. That was, wow, that was absolutely insane. You know, having to go up against the zone, going up against the players, you know, it's wow.
But I mean, that whole situation was just really crazy because we had a lot of switch ups from the teams there, changing up their play style to last a little bit longer than the previous match, just maybe play a little bit more smart and try and last longer, and that's exactly what happened. The teams lasted a whole lot longer, but what ended up happening was that zone just ended up just slapping right down into probably one of the most difficult spots that I have seen. Yeah. And that just made it very difficult. So we had a lot of fights happening. There were quite a number of players and teams left remaining in those final few zones. Lots of massacres happened. And suddenly the victors of those massacres that came out on top realized that they had to fight vertically up a giant hill, where half of it was impossible terrain. So they found themselves in a very difficult situation. And I mean, that is really difficult to play in. So well played to those teams who had to play around in that tragic zone. But it made for some good plays and some really entertaining stuff. So GG, well played. And I'm keen to get into the next one.
Yeah, so that's definitely what you can say. That's what you call an uphill battle. That last zone. And it's interesting also just to note that the last few the placings that we got in the last few teams there, that all happened within the last few zones, like the last 5 or 7 minutes. That's it. That's where all the action was. And it's insane. Like, yeah. I don't want to be in that spot though.
Yeah, and I mean it's definitely a difficult spot to be in, and it takes quite quite a caliber of player to be able to fight competitively in a zone like that. So yeah, very well played there, guys. And yeah, just keep bringing the exceptional gameplay.
There we go. All right, so let's get up into the highlights quick while we wait for our fourth and final round to get underway. So without any further ado, off we go.
Rolling up quite close to one another could potentially cause a fight there, as well as to the north side of the zone. Quite a few teams very close as well, or at least close enough. But now we're waiting to see if Shellshock and Ekasi will engage. You can hear the shots starting to ring out. Ekasi getting assaulted as they make their way across the road, but they will potentially make themselves out of harm's way, although Grim does get blown up from some good suppressing fire there from Shellshock. So, oh, there it is. The shots are going through. Sidon picks up Nova. 6 gonna fall as well. So Odyssey not letting up, not letting Vibrant escape. And like you said, Vibrant looking a little shaken here. 6 gonna get taken down. Finished off by Supreme. Now Nova and Luffy make that just Luffy as Nova gets thirsted as well. Luffy, the last one left for Vibrant. And yeah, it's not looking good. Got a whole squad of Odyssey to try and face off on.
Yeah, no, this is a horrible sandwich to be in. Wow.
Not a very tasty one, yeah.
No, this is...
Unless, of course, you're on the winning team, in which case it is a very tasty sandwich full of free kills.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything near... Oh, the Outsiders. Down they go. What a beautiful, like... I call it a co-op between the teams there.
Meanwhile, Gun gonna open up fire towards Hub, and Odyssey moving in just below them as well. The Exiles getting assaulted here by TMP, who's pulling a really good job of putting up a fight against this squad.
So TMP, they're not wasting any time this round. They are just pushing up in full force. Wow.
Yeah, they are not making this easy at all.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go.
Sure, so that is Exiles sent to the lobby as well. More fights breaking out across the map. Shellshock are going to get hit as well. So we now have 24 players and 10 teams. And, you know, this is what I was talking about. The fights breaking out to try and just cram everyone into this tiny space. Hub taking shots over towards Odyssey, who is crammed right here in between Gun. Meanwhile, on the northern side...
What's that? Well, nice co-op there once again.
Yeah, Odyssey going to be losing a couple of members, and they're also going to find themselves within that zone. Meanwhile, Gun going to take a lot of casualties as they go head on with Hub on the northern side. Exist and the Dragons also pulling the trigger on one another, although the Dragons look like they're going to come out on top of that one. Flame not long left. Meanwhile, Spaza Gaming going to get taken out towards the eastern side of the map there. Out of vehicles, and you know, why are you playing this game?
But look at the zone though. I mean,
it's ridiculous.
The majority of the zone is in the no playable area. Wow.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying these guys have to take fights because they can't rely on the zone. They can't sit inside there. It's going to be impossible. So they have to just take the fights right now. They have to go hunting. They have to just absolutely destroy everyone as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it's going to become very difficult. So here come the shots. Panda not going to be able to engage so many people at once. Shots in. He's just trying to lay down the fire. He gets taken down by the Dragons. Now it's TMP and the Dragons. But the zone. What a cruel and cold zone this is. Mayo is going to have to make a lot of stuff happen here. The nade goes up. Oh, but he wasn't expecting the flank, and that's going to be it. The Dragon...
you speak mean nothing more to me. 'Cause let's start over now. Rewind, and I won't let you go. I need you by my
What's up, guys? Welcome back. I hope you guys are ready for our fourth and final round of the day. It is going to be absolutely insane, just based on what we've seen in these previous 3 rounds. I mean, surprise upon surprise upon surprise. It's been absolutely amazing, and these teams have been putting up quite a fantastic show, I must say. Yeah, I'm really keen to see this this fourth and final match.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw a very crazy set of Miramar matches there, but now being back on Erangel, we're going to see what these teams bring out here. Of course, that first match being Erangel. Now we're back on that good old map, and we'll see what the teams can bring out here for the closing final match of this evening. And yeah, I'm really keen. I mean, these teams have definitely had plenty of chance to warm up. They've definitely been doing some crazy stuff. They've been forced into some pretty crazy situations as well. So we'll see what the zone has to offer this time around, and we'll see what the teams decide to do. Now, have a look at that flight path, looking very interesting this time around. It's going to be going from the northwest to the east, and it's going to be denying quite a big portion of that southern bit of the map there.
So it's it changes things for some of the teams, though. You know, seeing they kind of reach their spots that they would prefer to go to. You know, so now they kind of have to choose another spot and go elsewhere, and it's going to be interesting to see, you know, where they end up going, and what they make of that, you know, and of course, who's going to be the team that comes out with the chicken at the end of this fourth and final match.
Yeah, that is the question. That is the question. All we're going to be waiting for now is to see where the teams drop. And in the first time around, we had a little bit of clustering. Now we did see that corrected as the matches went on. I'm interested to see if we see something like that once again, to see if the teams, you know, because obviously they have the spots that they like to drop, obviously their favorite spots, their most favorite spots, but we'll see if they maybe just switch it up and go to a second preference spot just to sort of avoid some of that congestion. Right now we're going to see quite a bit of teams situated once again around sort of South George Hospital and towards ResHaunted as well, although the ResHaunted teams are a little bit more spread out than the ones surrounding Hospital. So we could see a couple of fights start to break out there once again. I think this was the same as the first map. There was some people around George and Hospital and some around ResHaunted. We're going to see a couple around Yasnaya as well. So now we just wait and see.
Oh, there we go. Some early shots already from Hub, flying right over towards the team here from Odyssey. So it's very interesting to see how these teams now start, you know, they're getting way more aggressive way earlier, you know, and the quickest opportunity they get there to take some shots on any of the players, they, you know, they do so. They don't waste time. They start the engagements. They get the show on the road, and that is fantastic to see, you know, that the teams, they just make do with whatever they've got. They grab whatever weapon they can find, and that is the one that they will start the assault with. You know?
I mean, that sort of dynamic ability to sort of change, to adapt to your surroundings and to the situation is, you know, what makes a really good player. So yeah, it's always good to see.
Yeah. And it's interesting, you know, comparing it to some of the other games that you know that we've watched, you know, where the players they rather wait until they find the weapons that they are happy with, instead of just grabbing the first weapon and starting the fight, you know, because that changes the game. You know, and at the end of the day, you end up sitting with a much higher, you know, kill count, and it helps. I mean, sometimes you can even get the jump on one of the stronger teams, you know, because they don't necessarily have weapons just yet or armor, and that is the ideal moment to, you know, start the push, start those hits, get those frags going. And, you know, get the show on the road from there.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we are awaiting the fight to take place, waiting for those things to break out. And we'll see if the teams can keep up their trend of surviving for quite a lot of time. Now, this map doesn't have as much space as Miramar, so survivability will not impact them for that much. They will eventually have to, you know, take those fights and you know, hope that they win them. So we'll see that happening momentarily. The zone has fallen towards the western portion of the map. We do still have teams quite close in Yasnaya. We might see Hub and Odyssey going at it momentarily.
Well, it looks like Odyssey, they're starting to surround the players here from Hub, closing in bit by bit, you know, moving in from all angles. He's now actually just waiting for Supreme. If he starts moving up, then that is the whole motion that we'll see from Odyssey as they try and flush out the players here from Hub and get those hits going. So they're getting corralled all up into the one little area here. Let's see, will Odyssey push in and get those hits? Oh, there we go, and the fight starts. Supreme goes down. Cat gets the hit on him. Well done. But now the rest of the squad are now moving up. We got Nomad, Sidon, and Vindor closing in. Let's see, will they be able to get the jump on Hub, or will Hub send them back into the lobby?
Yeah, we are waiting now to see what happens. Oh, the shots are ringing forth. There it is. Supreme gets taken down. As the rest of Hub try to continue their advantage for the moment. Shots begin to ring out. Actually, Exist going to be falling on the other side as well.
We still tear off there all by itself. Oh, nice. Down goes
Ooh.
Cat. So I was kind of waiting for something like that to happen, but Hub.
Toxic gets caught out. Mad Gas gets taken down. Cat gets
Wow.
thirsty. And that's Hub all the way back to the lobby. So that's going to be the first team getting sent back. It's Hub.
No, because I was watching Tia just a little bit earlier, and I saw him moving about by himself. And I was expecting, because I saw him fairly close to Temper, and I was waiting to see those shots, you know, of course, coming in. And, well, yeah, that is how it turned out. You can see the remainder of the squad. So, Exist, in this one, they are fairly spread out. Well, Gun is also quite spread out, I must say. And we've seen the strategy being used a few times, and sometimes it works, and other times, you know, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah, that is always the case. We might see TMP clashing at it with Exist. They are relatively close, but TMP are just rolling by. Not many teams towards the southern portion of the map. Most of them just concentrated around that initial area between hospital and school and ResHaunted there. Just waiting for some fights to start breaking out. Will be determined by where the players decide to go. Obviously, we've seen a couple of teams rotating in sometimes and, you know, finding themselves face to face with a foe where they didn't expect to find one, which might be the case here as the outsiders move towards Vibrant. Getting quite close there. Oh, here come the shots. They're going to have to steer their way out of this one if they don't want to get taken down. But they do maneuver their way and make their way out. So I think they have escaped that potential death trap.
Here we go. Ooh. You got MEA now, of course, moving up on the Dragons.
Yeah, they're moving up as well. We'll see if the Dragons can engage them or if MEA just roll on by. Seems to be the case.
Oh, we got Nero quickly jumping out of his vehicle safely this time.
Yeah.
And trying to put a big few pot shots across there. But we got MEA now rotating up. They're heading off in the direction there of Gun and the Outsiders. So once again, we see these triangles being formed.
Yeah. Seems to happen quite often, except this time around it's quite a large one because you can see it sort of continues quite continuously. There's the Dragons, we have the Outsiders, we have MEA, we have Gun, we have Exist, we have Ekasi and TMP, we have Vibrant and the Exiles. So a lot of teams quite close, but right now it's MEA, Gun, and Outsiders who are taking the shots at one another. MEA from both sides, Gun and Outsiders on either side. They have to take the fight, try and fend off both of the teams from just squishing them in between that bullet sandwich. It's MEA trying to heal themselves up and get into a better spot. Gun and Outsiders just waiting outside. They're just waiting with those crosshairs to try and pick off some players from MEA. Not deciding to run in just yet.
Here we go, so Gun on the move once again. Ekasi getting hit by Exist. Oh no, sorry, it was Temper. My bad. So Temper just chilling up on the hill, taking a few shots. You got Exist also right here with them as well. Let's see, are they going to move up? Trying to move up the hill? Or are they going to rotate up in towards zone? Seems like they're heading off in towards zone. So TMP now being left by their lonesome up on the hill. And it seems like Gun is now circling back over towards the outsiders. So that huge triangle that we were talking about has now become a much smaller one. And these teams are just sitting here facing off against each other. You can hear the shots flying across.
Yeah, Gun has repositioned themselves. Instead of being on the opposite side of outsiders now, they've moved right next to MEA. So they're very, very close in proximity here. And they have opened themselves up to potentially take one another down. MEA could look to try and take Gun down. Gun could take MEA down. But outsiders are sitting just outside of that range there. Could potentially be a little bit of a chaotic element there. Just popping in a couple of shots in between both of the teams. And if Gun decides to launch an attack or MEA decides to launch an attack, then outsiders will be there to try and capitalize on that and throw some chaos into the works. So we'll see how this one resolves. Maybe they decide to pull out and try and escape, or maybe they push the attack and just try and win it out.
We've got the team here from Odyssey, of course, also now closing up on the players right here from Vibrant. So once again, we might see, we might see some more action coming in. Also keeping a watchful eye on that triangle that we were just busy spectating there. Spectating. Oh, so delicious. So delicious.
Yes, of course. All right, now we are going to be seeing Vibrant and Odyssey quite close. Exiles moving up potentially towards SG. We do have those three teams from MEA, Gun, and of course Outsiders still sitting in their little triangle, not really making anything happen just yet, waiting for the opportune moment to launch their attacks. The rest of the teams clustered up around the ruins. It's TMP, Exist, Ekasi, Vibrant, and of course Odyssey, as we said. I'm just waiting for them to find that opportunity to launch the attack.
And also now waiting for ResHaunted to join the party, because they're still just chilling up in the north. They haven't really moved up into the region where all the other teams are situated. It could be advantageous for them, hanging back a little bit, waiting for the teams to battle it out, and then move in once the herd's been thinned. But yeah, we've got Spaza Gaming now getting pushed here. The Exiles moving in on them. Coco goes down. We got Deity, Berserk, and Chris still up and able. Go, up comes MG and Horus. They're now moving in, trying to go in for the thirst. Up comes Zane as well. Whole team rolling up. Oh, Zane taking quite a bit of damage. Manages to escape with close to almost no health. Wow.
Now the shots are going forward. Exiles trying to pressure the attack, and Spaza Gaming trying to repel it as best they can. Meanwhile, that little triangle might just become a bit of a square as Dragons roll up as well. But Deity doing so much work, taking down a number of players there from the Exiles who are pushing up. MG gets taken down. Cheddar as well. And that's the Exiles taken down and out. They are the second team to head back to the lobby there.
Oh, that was quite the grin there. Well done to Spaza Gaming. I mean, beautiful work there, getting those hits in, and of course, finishing them off there. Baker now just trying to lure a few teams in.
Yeah, just talking about Shellshock, they've been sitting out in the blue zone for quite some time there. I think this is potentially an attempt at a very big brain move where they're like, all right, we're just going to sit around here, loot up, it's just kind of take our time, because this zone, the first initial blue zone, doesn't actually do that much damage. So you can potentially survive it without too much of an issue. And the fact that you're sitting in the zone itself means that you're most likely not going to run into any resistance, any enemies. So all of the teams, as you said, are here in the zone fighting it out. Shellshock, they're just taking their time. They're like, yeah, it's fine. You guys can take each other down and we'll just take whoever's left. So they've taken their time, and they're only now moving up through the blue zone. And this is the only time that they could have done something like that, because as I said, the first blue zone isn't very powerful. It doesn't do that much damage, so you could potentially survive it for a long period of time.
Yeah. No, well, you can. In fact, you can survive all the way up until the 3rd zone. Up in the blue, you know, without making your way up. Of course, if you've got adequate, you know, meds on you, it's fairly easy to stay outside. But it's an interesting play. They were so far out of zone that I didn't even spot them on the map.
Yeah, I must say, only when you mentioned that did I actually take a look and zoom out and see that they were just still chilling all the way on that side. If I had seen that, I would have mentioned it earlier, but they have really been sitting there for quite some time. And it looks like Kage actually might be AFK. I'm not super sure about that one, but the rest of the Shellshock squad is now moving up. But speaking of the rest of the teams trying to wipe each other out, we still have a triangle here coming out from MEA Gun and Outsiders, and that's because they don't have to move. They are sitting pretty much slap bang in the middle of the zone, along with the Dragons sitting in Gatka, Odyssey sitting just to the north. They're sort of right in the middle. They don't have to move. The zone is what will determine if they move or not, if they have to. If they don't have to, they will just sit here with this sort of stalemate until an opportunity presents itself. So as soon as one of these teams in this little triangle between MEA Gun and Outsiders breaks up and makes a, you know, a sort of change in pattern, opens up themselves to an attack, only then will we see most likely something happening between these 3 teams, unless one of them decides to pull out.
Well, I also feel quite sorry for any of the teams, depending on where zone's going to go, but, you know, any other team that would attempt to just drive by, you know, just to move through this region here, because we got the Dragons, we got 4 teams just lying in wait, just lurking, you know, with no.
Oh,
Broly.
There's always something funny going on. If it's not Odyssey just flinging themselves out of vehicles, then it's Ekasi just nading themselves.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate, but it happens. It happens.
But yeah, I'm patiently waiting to see where the zone is going to shift to. I mean, the blue zone is nearly done moving. Then we'll see where it is going to take these teams. But we got Res now moving up on Ekasi. They're closing in, just driving by. Let's see. Will they get any hits in on Res as they drive? Oh, there we go.
All right, so Kage was indeed AFK, so he's going to get taken down. He was there far too long, and he only started running up a lot later. So that blue zone will claim him, and yeah, I'm not too sure if Shellshock were planning on that one. May have just been a little bit of an issue. But in any case, they do find themselves still in that blue zone.
And Rez drive right up into Odyssey. Oh. Now that's a nice how you doing.
Yeah, Rez are gonna get clapped, slapped, and taken back. It's pretty much just Dizzy left alive as Vibrant now rolling up towards Odyssey. Wonder if they will clash or just drive past, as seems to be the case now. That little triangle that we had going there did indeed break up. It's only MEA and the Outsiders as Gun actually make their way down a bit more south in the zone, which is potentially a good smart idea because no one is down there right now. So they are definitely just moving into a bit more comfortable area, while the rest of the teams are pretty much all concentrated towards the north. Vibrant going to be taking some flak from MEA. Outsiders, Vibrant, and MEA clustering up there together to form a new triangle, potentially, but this time one that might resolve a lot quicker.
Well, Bounds is about to run right up into the Dragons. Let's see how far he's gonna get. Will he make it?
Yeah, he just zooms straight past to try and dodge all of those bullets.
Look. Come on.
Oh, it's so close that he has to jump out of this one.
What? That's
his ride.
You know,
is set aflame.
That's disappointing. I wanted it to blow up.
Yeah, he manages to bail out just in time to try and join the rest of his crew down a bit more south. The rest of the team's still a good distance between them. There's 41 players left, 12 teams, and they're all within the zone except, of course, for Shellshock, who have been just treading around inside that blue zone for fun, you know, just enjoying the tickle of that zone for the moment.
Yeah. Ooh, Lindog not getting shot at. Here they come. Oh, beautiful play. Gets the knock on 6. Well done.
Well, Vibrant getting hit, hammered quite hard by the teams surrounding them. Odyssey move up. The hits coming through. Pounds goes down. And that is Vibrant left with 2 players remaining.
City also taking a bit of a hit there. Waiting now to see what's going to happen here with TMP and Exist. They out in the red zone.
Yeah, that could potentially be a bit of a...
Some ground to
Bit of a
cover.
rip. Yeah. Yeah, TMP Exist, Dragons, Outsiders, and MEA are all inside the red zone. So they do have to make their way in. Right now we have Vibrant, Odyssey, MEA, Gun, Ekasi, Outsiders just chilling right there in the center, just making a big L. Sort of a weird L shape. Maybe a B. In any case, you can see that red zone coming down to try and take out any wearily stragglers, but none have fallen just yet. You know, this is the Pro Series. You don't expect people to go down to the red zone right here. It would be quite unfortunate to see that happen.
We've seen it
And
once or
there it
twice.
is.
We've seen it once or
Yeah, well, yeah. Some
Yeah.
players get caught out. Some
Yeah.
players get caught out. In any case, Shellshock going to be making their way out of that blue zone finally. I think this is the first time that they will eventually step out of that zone into safety. So they have finally made their way in towards zone, and they will find themselves having another long journey ahead of them because that zone has just shifted down towards the west. Now, once again, our little shape of teams there is mostly secure inside that zone. So Gun, Odyssey, Ekasi, Vibrant, they don't have to move. TMP, though, they are going to be opening up fire.
And down goes Exist.
Yeah,
They don't exist anymore. Well done.
they
to
do not
Tempo.
exist anymore. Well, they do exist, but they
yeah,
exist
yeah.
in the lobby now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So Shellshock actually going to be getting hit by the players there from Spaza as they roll up, and that is quite unfortunate, I must say. The the whole plan has just been sort of ruined by the fact that they just ran straight into SG because they survived for so long. And they could have potentially just avoided all the conflict, but instead they run face first into Spaza Gaming and just get annihilated. So that's unfortunate. The rest of Shellshock, they're going to be making their way down south. Meanwhile, Resurrection are going to get hit very hard by Ekasi as Vibrant and MEA pulling the trigger as well. Dragons opening up fire. Everyone is fighting now towards the north. They're Vibrant and MEA going at it. That's going to be MEA coming out on top, sending Vibrant back to the lobby, while Gun takes the fight against Spaza Gaming.
And we've got the Dragons and TMP also going at it right up here on the southwest, north and western side. You can see Mayo getting taken down. We got Nero, Dan, and Check, of course, now trying to move up. Ooh, sending a few grains across.
Ooh. That
Loads
explosion
of grains. Wow, just look at the kill
Yeah.
feed.
doing a lot of damage there. It's Deity left alive to try and scrounge things back with Berserk, who is taking shots from Ekasi. So right now we have MEA and Odyssey close to one another, potentially trying to take a fight. We've got Ekasi taking some shots. TMP going at it with the Dragons.
Oh, beautiful play. It is now up to Mayo and Flacco. Oh, up to Flacco alone. He is now
Oh,
rushing
he's just
for
retreated.
zone. Well
Yeah,
played.
just to get out of there. Dragons take that one quite nicely. Force Flagger to run away. Tail between the legs.
Beautiful
Now the rest of the
play.
team still battling it out. They're still trying to take... Ekasi's still taking shots. Their Deity is going to fall. Now it's on to Berserk, and these teams are very close. Ekasi is out here. MEA, Odyssey, Gun. They're still out here with potential sightlines onto one another. MEA actually moving up towards Odyssey. Maybe about to take a fight there. Ekasi also trying to throw some shots down there. Meanwhile, Sheck West is going to yeet.
Yep, down he goes. Ooh, so Odyssey and MEA also now going head to head, battling it out, trying to gain control of this little hill that we've got here. There we go.
Yeah. Odyssey and MEA taking the shots at one another. Meanwhile, Ekasi is raining down the shots from the other side to try and get in some extra damage there. Try and get some few hits in. Oh, we're just waiting. We're trying to see who's going to come out on top of this one. Very difficult to tell as MEA make the rush towards Odyssey to try and finish them off. The smokes are popped. The guns are coming out. Bullets are raining down. Here come the shots. Nomad drops and gets taken down as well as MEA storm the building, taking down the rest of Odyssey, falling one by one. Sided not long left, and that's Odyssey sent straight back to the lobby. And now MEA re-engaging straight away with Ekasi. Oh, Ekasi racing past in their bikes, and Berserk gonna try and rain down some fire on them as they disengage from MEA. Gun inside the zone. Shellshocked, that squad also ins the zone. Gun gonna get taken some damage there from the Dragons, who are putting some pot shots across. Ekasi actually trying to just take down Berserk, punish him for that little potential shutdown of the drive-by. The rest of the shots gonna try and come through from all sides. The teams need to make their way into the zone. Shek West gonna get sniped by Pyro, takes him down with a nice well-placed shot, leaving one player, Dan, left alone, and that's not gonna be long as that shot comes straight through from Pyro. Pyro just absolutely executing the Dragons there and taking them out straight back to the lobby. That leaves 5 teams remaining, 16 players, and MEA Yakes getting claimed there, leaving, well, not many players left on the board. Ekasi going to be trying to take some shots over at Shellshock, who have just been sitting around for quite some time, waiting for everyone else to take the fights, and finally the fight is coming to them.
Yeah, Sully really trying to get some of those hits in. We still got Wonder and Tolu right over here, just on the edge. But it seems like Gun is now rotating up in their direction.
Yeah, Ekasi right behind MEA here as they move up towards the zone, which has popped towards the north. Outsiders here, just next to that drop. And here come the engagements. MEA taking that engagement against Ekasi. Sully gonna fall. Panda also gonna drop as well as the resurrections try and come through. The revives coming out for Ekasi. Gun and Shellshocked also very close in proximity to one another. And that's gonna be a nice gren onto Shellshocked.
Our Gun just raining down grenades at the moment. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, some good stuff there. Shellshocked sent back to the lobby there. After all that, they don't get a single frag, but they do eventually go out at least 5th. Now Gun can move up towards the zone. It's outsiders who are making their way in as well. Ekasi and MEA still yet to wipe one another out. That's still having to be resolved.
Yeah, so let's see if MEA will be able to get the bounce on Ekasi, or will Ekasi maybe get that bounce in on Gun. But Ekasi taking quite a few hits. Now Baker getting knocked. Almost. That was so close.
Yeah, Ekasi taking a lot of damage, though. Sully falling. Andrew also going to be falling there. Ekasi claimed immediately. Gun and MEA working towards that victory there. Now they can move up and engage one another. The outsiders moving in as well from the top, coming down to take them out. The fights are going in a 3-way battle, and Gun is falling one by one. Outsiders also taking heavy casualties there as MEA pull the trigger onto them. Oh, shots coming out there. Baker going to be doing the damage. Rasta goes down.
Well, up comes MEA. Let's see. They're pushing for zone.
Yeah, there's very little cover here. Just these trees to try and mask their movements. Gun Ooh, Nerf going to go down as MEA move up, taking the shots, trying to get a better angle. Baker going to go up to assist Vile in the forward position. Panda moving up as well to push out. They don't want to expose themselves just yet, but does Gun risk it? They're very low on HP. No one willing to push out just yet. Nobody wants to expose themselves too much, but Vile's going to get taken down as Gun pulls the trigger onto Vile and Panda, doing so much work. Gun not willing to go down just yet. They are fighting hard, making sure that they know what is going on, and that is going to be MEA wiped out. Gun doing such a good work. They're looking to take this one as Outsiders only have one player remaining. Definitely a great switch up from the first match.
Yeah, no, it has been absolutely... Ooh, I think he tried to... Oh! What a finish!
Yeah, a nice well-played screen. Just going to finish that one off.
Yeah,
GG well played. Gun take the first spot there.
Yeah, he goes out with a bang.
12 frags. Yeah, he does.
So well done to Gun for getting the chicken dinner 12 kills later. We got the Outsiders, of course, finishing off in second place with only 2 kills. We got MEA getting third place with 10 kills. Well done. Then, of course, we got Ekasi in fourth place. We got Shellshock finishing off in fifth place. The Dragons taking sixth place. We got the players there from Spaza Gaming finishing in seventh. Temper finishing off in eighth place. We got Nibble Odyssey in ninth place. Vibrant, of course, finishing in 10th. We got Res finishing in 11th place. Exist in 12th place. The Exiles finishing in 13th place. And then, of course, Hub going out in 14th place. So quite a different finish. Well, you know, the results are quite different to what we saw in the previous few rounds.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some great movements here from all the teams, and you know, it's just once again, I know we've spoken about it quite a bit, but the fact that Gun went out first in that first match there, and just every single round after that, they decided not to do that, and they were just like, nope, we're never doing that again. Yeah. And they've come out pretty much in the top 3 every time, and of course taking the chicken dinner this time around. So very well played from them, and we've seen some really great stuff coming out from all the teams there. Some really good improvements, even just from the first 2 rounds, and then these last 2 rounds, there's been some really big improvement from all the teams. So well played, very good stuff. Keep it up. I'm super keen to continue the rest of the season, because if this is how the season starts, then we're in for a really good season, I think. Yeah.
Now, what was interesting to me to see is we had a few teams, of course, you know, placing at the top. If we look at the players in game 1, you know, there we had Ekasi, Temper, and the Exiles finishing in the top 3. All right, in our first game. All right, second game, we had Exiles now taking chicken. Temper coming in second, Gun finishing in third place. So Gun making their comeback there from going back to the lobby first to placing third. All right, then we go into the third match where we've got the Dragons coming in getting the chicken dinner. Then we got Temper finishing in second place. And we've got Gun, you know, once again in third place. All right, and then we move into this one, where we then, of course, have Gun now in the chicken dinner. So they went all the way from going out first to being the first, you know, the top team of the match. Yeah. The Outsiders also now moving up into top 3, and MEA also coming in. So it's a complete turnaround. We had the Exiles going out second, where they came first in the previous round. So it's, you know, once again, it's like, it's you know, battle royale. You can never say, you know, there's one particular team that's going to be dominating all the way through, because it keeps on changing, and it comes down to the luck of the draw, where the team's going, how they rotate, you know, who they're rotating towards, where they're going, what the zone's doing, unless it's a, you know, a devil zone like we had in the previous match, you know, in game 3. Yeah. But it's super interesting to see, and you know, just looking at the frag differences and how it's been changing, you know, since round 1, just up until this round, you know, you can see that the teams are, you know, trying to find that one particular thing that is, you know, kind of like their secret recipe.
Yeah.
Because, it's difficult, because it's not easy teams they're going up against, well, and not easy zones. especially on Miramar.
Yeah.
And you know, it's yeah, I can truly take my head off to these guys. Well, I just almost did. You know, for how they're playing and how they're progressing and evolving their own gameplay and adapting to everything, and it's absolutely fantastic. And well done to everyone. You know, all the teams that have participated, all 16 teams that are in the Pro Series. Well done, well played.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I think we only saw 15 teams though today. But yeah, nonetheless, well done. Amazing show.
Yeah, very, very well played. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right, guys. So without any further ado, we're going to get up into the last few highlights of Match 4. And yeah, we're going to end off the stream after that. So looking forward to seeing you guys back again on Monday when we get into our Open Series. So be sure to, yeah, join in on that. But there we go. That's it from my side.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Cheerio.
There we go. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening. See you in the next one.
Their advantage for the moment. Shots begin to ring out. Actually, Exist going to be falling on the other side as well.
Are we still Tia off there all by itself? Oh, nice. Down goes Cat. So I was kind of waiting for something like that to happen, but Hub.
Toxic gets caught out. Mad Gas gets taken down. Cat gets this, and that's Hub. So going forward. Exile's trying to pressure the attack, and Spaza Gaming trying to repel it as best they can. Meanwhile, that little triangle might just become a bit of a square as Dragons roll up as well. But Deity doing so much work, taking down a number of players there from the Exiles who are pushing up. MG gets taken down. Cheddar as well. And that's the Exiles taken down and out. Finally, I think this is the first time that they will eventually step out of that zone into safety. So they have finally made their way in towards zone, and they will find themselves having another long journey ahead of them because that zone has just shifted down towards the west. Now, once again, our little shape of teams there is mostly secure inside that zone. So Gun, Odyssey, Ekasi, Vibrant, they don't have to move. TMP, though, they are going to be opening up fire. The whole plan has just been sort of ruined by the fact that they just ran straight into SG because they survived for so long and they could have potentially just avoided all the conflict, but instead they run face first into Spaza Gaming and just get annihilated. So that's unfortunate. The rest of Shellshock, they're going to be making their way down south. Meanwhile, Resurrection are going to get hit very hard by Ekasi as Vibrant and MEA pulling the trigger as well. Dragons opening up fire. Everyone is fighting for damage there. Try and get some few hits in. No, we're just waiting. We're trying to see who's going to come out on top of this one. Very difficult to tell as MEA make the rush towards Odyssey to try and finish them off. The smokes are popped. The guns are coming out. Bullets are raining down. Here come the shots. Nomad drops and gets taken down as well as MEA storm the building, taking down the rest of Odyssey, falling one by one. Sided not long left, and that's Odyssey. Ekasi slowly gonna fall. Panda also gonna drop as well as the Resurrections try and come through. The revives coming out for Ekasi. Gun and Shellshock also very close in proximity to one another. And that's gonna be a nice grain onto Shellshocked.
Our gun just raining down grenades at the moment. Oh, there we go.
But does Gun risk it? They're very low on HP. No one willing to push out just yet. Nobody wants to expose themselves too much, but Vile's gonna get taken down as Gun pulls the trigger onto Vile and Panda. Doing so much work. Gun not willing to go down just yet. They are fighting hard, making sure that they know what is going on, and that is going to be MEA wiped yet. They are fighting hard, making sure that they know what is going on, and that is going to be MEA wiped out. Gun doing such a good work. They're looking to take this one as Outsiders only have one player remaining. Definitely a great switch up from the first match.
No, it has been absolutely... Ooh, I think he tried to... Oh! What a finish.
Yeah, a